what it is, what it was, and most importantly, what's it gonna be. G-Pick and Bros up, back on the mic, and first time in over a year. Baby, welcome to Tampa. How you doing?
So I was worried because I only got like 1 hour of sleep on the plane, and I slept another hour in the hotel room. I'm like, I'm going to be such a zombie. How am I going to survive this? But then Rivals just is bringing me back to life. I feel completely excited for all the sets we have today. This tournament has been just ridiculously stacked.
Absolutely. I mean, you have top players like you and I both making 25th.
No. I was 33rd.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
25th, baby. Oh, man, in the home court. But no, I mean, it's been so many crazy sets right before the bracket starts to begin. We were hoping to get more of top 16, and we missed out some barn burners that you have on your Twitter. So make sure you go check that out at GPick Smash. And there's just some phenomenal ones. But we're going to start with the Tampa Legends. Backpack and Guard. Backpack playing up first, of course, against Nevermore Soul Rifle. Shippy himself coming down from Georgia. Georgia versus Florida. Tampa versus wherever Shippy lives in Georgia. And just a fantastic start to this bracket, man. I'm so glad we were talking about this earlier about...
Yeah. So the thing about the Soul Rifle especially has been just such an insanely consistent player in the previous season. I believe he only lost to 3 different players last season. It was like 9 sets to Cake Assault, 1 set to Penguin, or no, it was a few sets to Penguin.
Okay.
And then it was also to Sego, and that's it.
It's impressive just like how much top level rivals and especially the travel schedule that he kept.
Yeah.
That it was literally just these really Cake more than anyone else, but mostly just these 3 top other players that are just holding the door shut.
Mm-hmm.
This is the chance to see something different. He won't have Cake until at least winners finals if the bracket breaks right for him. We'll see how it goes. Zoning out Backpack already on the fist bump.
One of the reasons I was excited to come here, aside from hanging out with you again,
Of course.
is getting to see the Tampa players in action, because already popping off for the RPS.
That's correct.
And shaking hands right after. Okay, I love the
GG's.
sportsmanship. Right now, this is fantastic work by both
so it's
players.
sportsmanship now, and now you're about to hear Tampa rivals get very, very loud very, very quickly, and that sportsmanship is going to go out the window with the crowd members.
I'm going to be honest. I think Soul Rifle alone can match the volume of Tampa.
That's true. I mean, just look at the size of him. He is 3 Tampas in a trench coat. He's one of the few people that I look into the eye of and go, yes, my vertical equal.
Yeah, like I don't have to look down.
Correct.
Yeah, I can meet someone eye to eye.
It's such a weird thing because I mean, you and I, or you and Wisely, or you and or me and Jackie on the mic together, and you guys have like the phone books.
I mean, I have the booster seat right now.
That's right. But we're into it, baby. Game 1, winners quarters, and already with the tongue latch. Let's see where the combo leads.
Right now, just focusing on keeping that stage control. Both players not willing to risk it for the brisket quite yet, which is, I mean, understandable. You want to see what your opponent's opening hand is. You want to understand how they're approaching this matchup, right?
Correct. See what the first couple of salvos of Advantage State look like. And here's just kind of just the hair care products, the rinse, wash, repeat of...
Ooh, the Lily perfectly catching that tether. Not going to be able to follow it up, and now Backpack's turn to talk.
Ooh, the weight on the roll, too. Very nice. Okay, down out of the progression.
I kind of like that Backpack waited right there, right? Recognized that there wasn't enough time. Still alive in the far corner. Yeah, hitting the bubble away to try to disrupt the recovery and still making it back on stage. Soul Rifle has a chance here. Just forward strongs the Tempest right there. Man. I forget what that spinning move is called.
Needle Storm.
Needle Storm, thank you.
At least that's what I assume it's called. It looks like a Needle Storm.
I think you're right,
okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, you hear the crowd get in behind him very quickly. Even though he's down in stock, they want him to come back immediately. And that's a good start to it.
I love the tech roll into Lily as well, right? It was going to make that follow-up really annoying.
Absolutely. I was going to say the same thing. I was like, that's the smartest thing you can do there. Just let the bodyguard be the bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, but a quick 91% already on the second stock. Rana in a little bit of trouble here. Just continues this edge guard.
And I mean, while we're pointing this out, we do have Backpack nearly at 100%, right?
Excuse me? Why did that combo? Oh, now we're back at 0.
All right. The gap continues to grow.
Ooh, we're low on resources, though.
Still the double jump.
Yep.
Still has the tether, but Backpack gets the punish, waits out the parry, but isn't able to follow up afterwards. Soul Rifle just taking these happy little punishes as they come.
I was going to say a quick little 50%, but here is Soul Rifle back in the aggressor's seat again. Even though he's off stage in this immediate moment, that was a really nice quick 40 for him, and that is what's going to matter too. Even if Backpack clears this out in a little bit, he's still going to be at that percent advantage going into the final stock. Call out. The parry.
Yep, gets rid of the Lily, and in the same time gets rid of the mark as well, right?
Ooh, the mix-up with the tongue there, very nice. High recover here.
Up airs, not quite going to do it.
Crazy eye.
Oh, this is a long bubble.
Oh my goodness. Was just out there with him the entire time, babysitting him to the blast zone. The mix-up to bait out the parry, and here comes the combo.
Oh, this is... Oh! That's actually pretty big being caught off stage.
That's right.
Good catch. Gonna knock it into the... Okay, I love the Tampa chance of just you're good, you're good, you're good.
Come on down. Still has to worry about the mark. He's back on stage, so he's going to be getting the damage
Hugging
again.
the wall, gets the tech out of the way. Oh, just catches the tip. Yeah, Soul Rifle.
Neither player feeling the nerves right now, playing in this situation perfectly.
I really, I love having this. Ooh!
So many. Oh, then there's the mark. Okay, this is big.
He's gonna just go right for the hip fall up air into the uppercut right afterwards.
So good.
Wow, the awareness to be able to like know that he was gonna catch up like right above the stage. Like this is the option. Yeah.
Now, do you think that was a hit cancel, or do you think that was a ledge cancel off the edge there? Because it looked like it was right side by side.
I thought it was just a hit fall, and there just wasn't that much end lag. But enough. I could be mistaken.
Fair enough. Man, if this is the mark of things to come, G-Pig, we have a hell of a top 8. Guys, keep in mind right now, of course, this is a charity event. Donorbox.org, the number 4, the kids, to make sure you can help out with the Tampa area here. Of course, this is benefiting Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Tampa Bay this year. But of course, GOTE, the annual tradition down in the Clearwater, Tampa area, cannot express to you. If you've missed this one, come to the next one. This is a hell of an event to try to support.
It is just fantastic vibes all around. So many games in every corner of this room, and so much passion. And like the fact that I heard that one of the Rivals players was entering Tetris at the same time and was in grand finals, right? Just, how often do you hear about that? An event running Tetris and Rivals.
Of course. So we're going to go to Neo Julesvale here. Got that nice moving platform. We'll see how each player is able to take advantage of this.
Right, this being Backpack's counter pick. Oh! That's not quite yet. He still had all of his resources, but being caught off stage again without touching ground.
From the cradle to the grave, 0 to death there immediately for Soul Rifle.
Feels like the gap between them has just been growing just steadily, right? Because in the first game it was like razor close until like, oh!
And yeah, this is tough going here because you're just spending the entire time playing off stage. My concern about this as a counter pick too is even if you like actually have a good advantage state, which we haven't seen so far from Backpack in this, is the fact that you could pop Lily on that moving platform and just have that bodyguard constantly there for you. It's such a good advantage for this stage. So I'm curious if like this is just maybe just a mistake on Backpack's part going into game 2.
Yeah, It's definitely something where I'm waiting and seeing, right? Like, and it could also just be more of a comfort pick thing, right?
Sure.
But yeah, there's the Lily you were just talking about, like stealing the stage from Palm.
Correct. She doesn't need it anyways. Propaganda is not allowed.
And with Soul Rifle having a 2-stock lead, Backpack, the onus is on him to make some really big plays now.
Well, and it's one of those things where he's very capable of it, too. We saw it in that last game. We talked about that razor's edge that separated these two players, and it was 1 or 2 tech reads away, really, from being 1-0 Backpack right now. You know, Soul Rifle clutched it out and was able to finish things out as his intentions are, but this is looking like a wrap for game 2.
Oh, that's spacing to just get right out of Lily's reach, too. And there's nothing holding back Soul Rifle from just trying to harass Backpack on the edge, even if it's just him existing there, right?
Hanging there menacingly.
Yes, and sometimes it's knocking the bubble away to disrupt the recovery. And sometimes it's just, scary. Soul Rifle now on the 2nd stock. We have triple digits on to Backpack already.
All right, no JV.
No JV?
No JV.
Soul Rifle up 2-0 now.
Yeah, and there's that charisma that Soul Rifle is just so well known for. Just constantly playing towards not only his opponent, but also the mind games with the crowd as well. Just a fantastic player in and outside of bracket.
Yeah, really just, you can absolutely feel the passion just like physically emanating from him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, he's listening to something. But I don't know music well enough to tell you what.
No, actually, that's just his vibes.
That's just the vibe?
That is just, there's no music playing right now.
Oh, yeah, because that's hooked up to the setup. Yeah. So we got ourselves Fire Capital, Blazing Hideout, and Tempest were the bands.
Right. Head into Frozen instead. And it's funny, too, we're opting from Jules Vale, obviously the more compact stage, to the much wider stage here as far as like the gameplay is going to go. So I'm curious to see if this is going to benefit Backpack at all to kind of have a little more runway now to try to get these combos started, or will we see Soul Rifle do exactly what we're seeing right now and just suffocate this neutral?
What I have a feeling is it might just be a matter of Backpack thinking, well, that first game went better than the second game, right? So let's just go back to that game that felt very winnable. But unfortunately, that early stock is going to make this even harder for Backpack to put himself on the board.
Whether it's Shippy, whether it's Maple, I mean, this neutral conversation is somebody just yelling over you the entire time because it has just been a one-man show right now as far as these games 2 and these game 3 have been concerned.
I mean, what was it? Backpack had a really solid about almost 0 to 83% onto Soul Rifle to start this off. Soul Rifle answers back and stacks up that damage. Setting up the bubble and out to intercept, but ready that time with the Tech Bear. Soul Rifle still keeping control of the stage.
Yeah, and the issue with the Tech Bear, though, is like Shippy is obviously very ready for that and was able to DI properly and still put himself back in advantage afterwards. So you're getting that counter hit, but you're not getting the advantage stage that you need so desperately right now.
That's something that's like always impressed me about Soul Rifle's gameplay is how much, even though like he often will run off stage to the opponent and stick to them, he never seems to like lose footing where the opponent is now between him and the stage, right?
Yeah, there's no turnaround there. For sure. And it's really impressive with how much he goes off stage, too. I mean, that's just the confidence in the gameplay. I thought there was just going to be a nair finisher there. Still probably going to be enough here.
Not risking anything either. Gets in the bubble, I think, or I'm actually not sure what happened. Just existing there, it looked like got in the way.
You hear the reluctant applause from the Tampa crowd. Hate to see the the wayward son go into losers so early, but I mean this is against obviously one of the top 5, top 3 best Bravos players in the world. I mean you can fight your battles, but sometimes the better player just wins.
Yeah.
And that is Shippy punching tickets into winners semis, right?
Winners semis, yeah, into top 8. Yep.
And then we're going to be switching over to his brother in arms and his brother in genetics. Guard coming up next.
Oh, you're talking about Backpack's brother.
That's right. That's right. Guard coming up next against the man who just went the distance in Melee. Cake Assault finishing second, finishing his seed. Frustrated with how the grand finals went. Frustrated with how the winners finals went. I talked to him a little bit before this next run, and I was asking him, I said, hey, so what is the mentality when you're playing back-to-back top 8s like this? And his response was this is the first time that he's had to play good players both in Melee and in Rivals at the same time. So he's interested to see how quickly he can switch between the mentality, the physics of both games. And, of course, Guard at last year's GOTE pushed Cake to the absolute limit. So I'm very excited to see how this set goes. Of course, I'm torn because I have my son and my soul main playing against each other on stream right now. I have, of course, Cake Assault and Claren fighting off. So either way, I win and I lose. It's a gift and a curse. But I'm very excited for this next set, more importantly. And I think the winner is going to be playing against Kusi.
Yes.
And that's going to be for winner semi. So this is going to be our second to last top 10-ish that we're doing for stream right now, I think, right?
Top 16-ish, yeah.
But like for what's left of it for us, it's top 10. So what do we think?
Yeah, I'm thinking back to the last set that I remember them playing at, which is that GOTE set. Yep. I believe it was 3-1 Cake's favor, but it felt winnable.
It was doable.
It felt doable, mainly because
3-1, but it was close.
Because one thing that I noticed that Guard was doing really successfuland back then was he was baiting Cake into parrying a lot, right? And which makes sense because Claren has like more reach, right? And then when you're in a situation against a character like that, it's often tempting to fall back on the parry. But I know that that's a habit of Cake's that he has become more aware of as time goes on. So I'm curious to see whether or not that will still work. It has been 2 years, right, since then. And if they have fought each other like online and I'm just not aware of it, then yeah, that's on me. But
I don't know if I've seen a player of Guard's caliber reach the peaks that Guard's able to reach, because he has these moments where he looks like he's the best player on the planet. And you will not find a more humble player than the man himself, Mr. Guard.
Yeah, he was just talking to us about it.
It was. And it was just like, I just go into each match. I feel like if I'm at a disadvantage, I need to make sure that I know what I need to do to mitigate that as well. And, obviously playing the best design, best character in the game. So he gets style points for that already.
Oh, you're talking about Cake? No.
Yes, correct. But, just the way that Guard especially has pushed Claren's meta in previous years and, of course, kept up with it in the Florida scene. There's stuff that Guard does that is just foreign to most of the other Clarens you'll see on stream today, if we see any other ones. So I'm very happy.
Uda's still in on loser's end.
That's right.
If I remember correctly. I think loser of this has to fight Uda. So we might have the Claren mirror.
Ooh, the back-to-back.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I believe it was... Oh, I'm blanking on her tag now. Backpack has to fight a fellow...
No, Volnita.
Volnita, thank you. Yeah, as that qualifier as well, which I hear is also a run back from Alicio Dreamland. It might have been sooner.
They have played together quite a bit. This is the battle of GOTEs at this point. GOTE backpack, GOTE Volnita. And we're ready. We're getting into it. Merchant? If I was Guard, I would like Merchant.
I usually ban Merchant on principle against Claren.
Right.
Okay. We're going to go to Jules Vale.
It was one of the last options. Just as long as it's not Ethereal Gates as Claren, we're good. So.
Oh, yeah. Why lean into that, I guess?
So Cake with the first salvo here. Big combo string. No jump either.
Good spacing with the cape. Already at 73%.
Great tech. Still going to keep this going, though. Yep.
Oh, that was clinical. Cake Assault just taking only a couple hits in that, waiting perfectly for the whiffs for himself to just dive in and get his punishes. And
it's such a good situation there for him, too, because that down tilt, either you DI out and you get back aired, or you DI in and get you down air, and Cake was just ready for it.
All right. Now it's Guard's turn to watch this ledge.
This is the big part of this matchup here, is how long you can keep the other fire characters off stage like this. And so we see him immediately understand where the clones are going to be capable of reaching, where Cake is capable of reaching, and knowing immediately, even with like a down tilt like that, how to cover both of them.
Down strong should do it. Yep.
Correct, yes.
That was good DI, too.
I was about to say, that's a tough DI situation. No purple on that either.
But one thing that actually the data has borne out, too, specifically against Cake Assault, is like the times where somebody has a winning record against them, they also have like the longest period of edge guarding against them, right? Like Kusi had like 20-second edge guards. Sego had like a 40-second one at one point. Edge guarding Cake Assault is absolutely crucial if you're going to make it work. So being on top of that for Guard, that's a huge deal.
And even in neutral now, really finding some success on the second stock. Cake finally navigating this back and kind of evening this back up. But Guard playing fantastic. Great spot dodge on that Nair. Holy cow.
Spreading more smoke on the stock change. That being said, this is closer in terms of this stock differential than the previous one, right? Like, Guard is catching up.
Yep. Immediately follows that up. Great coverage there of both the smoke and the fours. And that's going to be a stock. Wow. 0-0. Last stock of game one, baby. You love to see it.
This is really doable, and the Tampa crowd is already coming alive.
Ooh, big cover on the parry, though. Guard gets out.
Good space in, just getting just slightly out of reach. And it looks like Cake Assault's just trying to challenge this pressure directly with buttons. Oh, gets another off stage. Oh, that had to have been a misinput.
No strong hit on the down air, though. Really surprising given that spacing. But he's going to get the jab. Takes DI's out. Big finish.
Oh! But still keeps it going.
All right, this has been a 2-for-2 scenario for our boy Guard so far. But going to use the Jules Vale platform. How does he come down?
It was a 50.
The fake out with the clone. I was sure that was him.
We've been watching Cake for years, and we'll never quite know, will we?
I mean, if we don't know, if the players don't know, how do we know? How did that not finish?
What? Oh, that's going to kill!
Oh, my God. Cake just rushes in with that. So good. Slams the door on all of the energy from the crowd and maybe even from Guard, but that was just an absolute slugfest of a game one.
Cake was like laughing and drinking his water and like just a wild mix of emotions of, oh my God, that was so close. I had to clutch it out with a gutsy play. And that's something that we've always seen from Cake, right? Like that willingness of when he has a read, he is not afraid to take those risks, right?
Not a reserved player. Not a reserved player.
In many ways.
Merchant Board game 2.
I mean, you only have so many bands, right? But especially with the crowd coming alive, too, with their Guard chants, I feel like that's actually really helping Guard in this position. Just staying in the corner, letting Cake Assault come to him a little bit. Oh, I love that movement. Clears out a lot of smoke that way, too.
Oh, yeah, and they're so useful in this matchup for that exact reason.
Just got to make sure you don't get whiff punished as you come down landing, right?
Correct. What's spacing on that down tilt? The big thing for me is we watch the game plan kind of shift in this game too.
Yeah.
You don't see the advantage getting pressed as much, and that has a lot to do with how big the stage is, of course. But you really just see Guard kind of playing this a little bit slower, and I don't know how effective that's going to be. I think if you give Cake more opportunities to just retake neutral, you're going to put yourself in a harder situation.
I mean, so far their neutral exchanges seem pretty even to me. Like, I don't know. It feels like this game is already off to a better start for Guard. Because, like, we can't forget that the previous game, Cake was at, like, 13% when he took Guard's first stock, right?
There
like,
it is.
Just the fact that they're going blow for blow this early, I feel like is already a good sign for Guard.
And more importantly, Guard actually lands the first Haymaker in this game, too.
That's actually a great point, yeah. As a way, like, reestablishing, like, you had a read on me last time. Oh, and it's the same thing! Cake Assault running up and just pressing that down smash.
Devs, I know you saw that. Make that jab better, please.
Oh, beautiful spacing against that falling there.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Wave dash back, like down tilt looks just so fun to do whenever I watch Guard. Like it's just having that control of spacing is just so great to watch. Keeping the edge.
Nice fair there though. Challenging that kind of patient play.
I love how much Guard is waiting in these moments.
All right,
retreating to the smoke. That's definitely an area that Clarence not going to be able to threaten.
Not with that attitude.
I suppose if you go for one of your up Bs off stage, yeah, sure, but nice.
We're at a high enough percent, it could kill, but this is a pretty big lead here. Can we get something started off this? Goes for the backer, but doesn't get the follow-up. Now gets a piece of the nair, but only 1%.
I love the, DI's out on the down tilt, makes that back air hard to link together.
DI's in on that down tilt, though, to mix up Cake a little bit.
And 120%, yeah.
No resources, you can't do anything.
Really great edge guard by Cake. Just evening up all of that momentum.
God, look at all those sparks. You love to see it, baby.
The fact that Guard keeps catching the real Cake over and over. Oh, that could have been so disgusting.
Oh, no.
You might die for that.
No, okay.
All right.
We're alive.
Guard's still in it. Patience coming out from both players. That was so good by Cake, right? Because that's a specific movement arc that Guard's been doing all game. Gets that back air. Just spreading more smoke. Yeah.
So this is specifically what I meant at the beginning of this game, is that he took this moment and played so well out of the corner, but in that final stock, we saw Cake actually establish smoke for the first time and actually cover the center of that stage, masking how he was going to make these approaches, because Guard was able to call it out and understand it when he was able to see it.
Yes.
But now now when it mattered, you were giving up all this stage position, giving up all this time, and I mean, Cake's going to Cake, right? Like, he's just so good at that, and just calling out that final decision.
And the fact, too, that they just immediately ran into Ethereal Gates, right? We had, like, 5 seconds between those two games. And I'm definitely going to keep an eye out, too, of like how much more Cake looks at the smoke, the dive there. That is a huge burst of momentum for Cake going into this game, keeping it going from the way that the previous game ended as well.
More importantly, the game plan's established. Look at those little bits of movement here, the moonwalks, understanding the clearance spacing a little bit more. That's how a short-range character beats Claren, is you have to be able to get around the down tilts, the jabs, the F tilts, those tiny little pokes, and I mean, Cake Assault's doing it a masterclass right now.
Keeping that smoke set up on the far side of the screen. All right, I was wondering if the pop-off was about this.
I was very confused. I was like, nothing is this exciting, guys. What is going on? But it sounds like Y pulled off of something in the background. But Guard
holding on at 144.
Yeah, this is such a tough moment, right? Any of these caves, any of these down strongs, or even just the down air is enough there. Now we have the full build on deck. The Combust is ready, and I just don't know if Guard has the answer for 3 straight cake stocks.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Having an answer to 3 cake stocks, and the fact that at worst this is like a smoke screen that Cake gets to set up on the recovery, because we already know Claren can't clear off all the smoke off stage, but goes for that Combust off stage, trying to just end Guard's life here.
Great tech there at the final down, thankfully. That was looking like we were just going to see a showcase real quick.
Yeah. Great use of the side special, though, as an answer to the reversal, the landing aerial.
All right, Guard getting the combo started, calls out the jump. Oh, we're going to DIN off the up tilt, still continues.
All right. Nice tech, keeps it going.
All right, low on resources, no air dodge. Gonna
the Guard's been so solid at the ledge. Beautiful spacing again, just focuses on clearing the smoke. Rinsing and repeating. Oh, first time it was a clone.
Well, first time it was a clone, and also first time we saw Cake roll from the ledge there too. All right, 110%.
This is just to get on the board too. This is so terrifying. Oh, you're gonna
okay.
All right. I wasn't sure for a moment because it was ethereal gates, but being at 124%, yep. That's gonna do it. Cake Assault walks away with a 3-0. He looked so unstoppable at the end of the Genesis. I mean, just the fact that he did that Rivals Resets Major 3 with flashbangs going off from the chat.
We're on a different power level.
Yeah.
We have seceded past the mortal plane right now as Cake Assault walks away from the setup. Because, I mean, we watched the first 6 stocks exchanged in such quick succession, just back to back, boom, 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 boom. Heavyweight blow, heavyweight blow, heavyweight blow, and then we just came into game 3 and Guard was gassed. I mean, coming out of the corner, had nothing able to do on it. Even at the end of game 2, where it was just like, all right, I got to think about this. I got to think about this. I have to have a plan. And Cake Assault's like, no, you don't have a plan for me. I am inevitable. I'm going to come in and finish this. And that's exactly what we saw. I mean, just fantastic play from Cake. Guard throwing everything at the wall to see what would happen, and I mean, just had an answer every time. We saw these extended edge guards over and over again, constantly knowing where the clone was, and then we finally see that last mix-up that lets him off the ledge with the roll after the tech in place. I mean, just fantastic stuff from Cake, and I mean, what else do you expect? Like, it's Cake Assault. We're just ready at this point.
Cake completely eager to keep his #1 spot until Rivals 1 is usurped, right?
From my understanding, he's going to be #1 for Rivals 2 as well. Like, I mean, it's Cake. Like, what else do you want?
Hey man, Steven's pretty nice in that game.
Did he pay you to say that? You're on the payroll?
Not yet.
Rivals GPIG? You're just on the salary to compliment Steven Zabowski?
Well, I mean, don't get me started on Dan.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Lord and Savior.
Yes. The one and only.
May the Kraken play well tonight.
What I really want to do is I'm pulling up the bracket right now because I want to see what all that noise was about.
That's true.
In the middle of that game 3.
That's true.
Which. Oh, okay. I guess it was the end of one game because Y is fighting ZB right now. Off stage. Which actually. Y beat ZB. Y 3-2 over ZB. Volnita 3-0 against Backpack.
Rest in peace, Backpack.
Yeah. Which means we have Cheesy Potato and LP as the final top 8 qualifier in losers?
Well, no, you've got Guard and Uda.
Oh, Gardenuda as well. My bad.
Right.
I saw the
I don't know how much
thing.
of it is going to be on. I don't know how much of it's going to be on stream, but I think we're going to have they told us originally that we're going to do 2 winner set and 1 loser set.
I see.
Which sounds like we're going to get Cheesy Potato and LP for that. So that's going to be really exciting to see. Another great matchup, and really just players we've all gotten pretty used to seeing at this point. Really, really excited to see not only this qualifier, but this top 8 kickoff. I mean, we've had 2 banger sets already where you had the local kids do their best against the conquering heroes, and fell a little bit short, but we got losers run ahead of us for at least guard at the very least to try to get something going. We'll see where we go next as we get ready for Cheesy and LP.
Yeah.
Our progress through here to what got us here was a Game 5 nail-biter versus Kusi for Cheesy, where Game 5 had to be reset because the controller malfunctioned for Kusi. So shout out to Cheesy being honorable on that, because she was already down in the beginning of Game 5. I personally be like, yo, 0-0, we're resetting. You want to reset the game, we're going to reset the game. And then, of course, LP coming through the loser side, beating Klepto. Klepto with a hell of a run on himself, beating Pity to get all the way out to, this would be, I think, 12th in this bracket. 13th?
13th, yeah.
It's not my...
Klepto looked really good from what I saw against LP. But yeah, LP has been rocking with the Zetterburn, doing fantastic work. Yeah.
Last year it was Audie's run keeping the Zetter on screen. Now it's LP's run keeping the Zetter on screen.
There will always be a Zetter.
That's all I want.
It's decreed by Dan, you know.
Listen, I got a Claren on stream already. I'm a happy man.
You'll probably get more than one Claren. Actually, you're definitely going to get another Claren set.
That's
for sure.
True.
Yeah, no matter what, we're getting at least one more Claren set.
Renzo in the front row looking jacked in the Heatwave baby blues.
I do want to shout out especially like Y over ZB. If I remember correctly, ZB was the player who knocked Y out of his run at Big House 10 when Y got 3rd place. So being able to take out that first that elimination from his hottest run, right? Really, really great for Y.
Avenge the loss.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, my brain says Cheesy for this, right? My heart says LP. Who you got? Who you got, Nick?
I think just sight unseen, I kind of would favor Cheesy, but I mean LP, extremely good player, right?
Of course.
It's just I know Cheesy is a player who both really grinds at the game and has like a more unique approach compared to everybody else.
That's a way to put it.
Woof! Just a heap of damage, but it's cracked. So this is like what a quarter of the stock.
Correct. With the casual scrub tag on too.
Oh, that's great.
I love it. Okay. That is a true neutral punish.
I know Cheesy is a player that leans a lot more on parry as an option in neutral and gets a lot of success out of it.
It's the bell curve, right? So
they're both actually just, or at least LP has just a big smile on his face.
Yes. How can you not smile when playing Zetter? This character is joy incarnate.
Like, the thing is, LP smiled when his edgeguard kind of fell apart and Cheesy started recovering first. Like, still finding that funny, right? Like, that, I think that's amazing. But now we have ourselves even stocks.
Tried to use soft hit fair. Gets another strong hit for it. Man, there's just something about Florida rivals and their clean Zetter movement that I love so much. Oh, the fake out on the edge cancel there.
Yep.
Had me fooled.
LP not in a rush to close this distance. Not at all. Oh! Had a read on the roll, just fired the gun a little too soon, I think.
The risk was calculated, but sometimes you're just bad at math.
I was surprised to see Cheesy throw the platform rock, because normally that's like her safety net at really high percents, is just being able to go into it. But all the same, still even percents. Last stock. Ooh. Intercepting the movement now by LP. The thing that was keeping him safe on the previous stock.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is like Cheesy's the type of player that's going to understand those patterns very quickly. and just completely be able to dissect that. And the up tilt, up strong, post hit at 100%. Wowee.
That turned sour really fast for LP. Like, I thought that was just going to be a solid damage string, but turning it right into a kill. Oof. Still, honestly, a really good showing for that first game, though. It really does feel like either of these players can kill each other as fast as possible. I think the big thing that I'm wondering is whether or not LP's going to find a way to just get this read, escape this read that Cheesy has on his movement.
You hate to see another movement slip up from LP there, but Cheesy not one for the homie stock, going to continue this pressure.
Because, yeah, right there, the way Cheesy is like lining up these aerials, right, it's for platform to platform movement. But LP is going from platform to ground, right?
Sure. But, I mean, that's the benefit of being up like this, is you really can just play that intercept game rather than the fighting forward.
I mean, it's also how Cheesy really snapped back the momentum in the previous game, too.
Good read on the DI, but Cheesy one step ahead, gets the fair instead.
Watching the ledge. Oh, good reaction, yeah.
You see those resources start to deplete for Zetter, and any player worth their salt's just like, all right, this is it.
This is the tech on the rock. Go on.
Still in a good spot, though.
Yep. It's just I'm so used to seeing Cheesy hit those, you know.
Good for LP to get on the other side of those back airs. That looked like that was going to be in a rough situation.
A little bit of the Rube Goldberg in the middle of the screen. You love to see it.
It's the Julie Goldberg, actually.
Oh, okay. I was unaware of the rebranding, but I can see it. Wow! Buries the rock shards!
I'm just ready for it.
Securing the rock and punishing the air dodge to get away from the rock right afterwards.
Securing the rock and securing the stock. And Cheesy, much like Cake before her, and much like Assault Rifle in the first set, slamming the door, it seems, on these local players. I mean, LP, a hell of a player in his own right. We'll see if Jules Vale is going to be an answer, or will this be another quick 3-0?
That previous game, was it a 3-stock?
Maybe?
No, it wasn't. I don't think it. And you know what? I'm not sure, so I'm not going to say. But it felt extremely one-sided. We can all agree on that.
Correct.
Yeah. But we have LP off to a pretty solid start. The main thing I'm concerned about is just the neutral feels more and more Cheesy favored the longer that this goes on.
Just casually walking out there.
I didn't check to see whether or not LP even had an air dodge available. It's very possible that, you know, he didn't, and that was just like the stock. Evens it up though. Okay.
Parry there. Okay.
Sneaking in right under the rock throw.
Immediately saw that fireball and was like, I'm taking center stage. And has not given up this neutral conversation since. Oh.
Just getting those triple tosses, doing so much, and then covering so much with that up strong as well.
Right.
Yeah, like you need to have like fire up B like straight up, right, to avoid that. If you went for that platform too, it was gonna catch there.
We're back in it. Cheesy back in control again though.
Oh, this is looking like a repeat of just the previous stock, but LP sneaks back on with a couple back airs. Gets a good parry. Down strong's gonna do it thanks to that platform extension.
Can we get the neutral going is the question, because now we're seemingly back off stage again. A big up air there for Cheesy.
Just barely staying out of reach. But LP not quite pulling the triggers to go for any of these whip punishes. Doesn't feel secure in it.
Let's slip.
Oh, catches the tech roll, and Cheesy Potato getting a 3-0 as well. Like you mentioned, these winner sets have been the extremely seasoned travel players, right? Cheesy not putting in a ton of work in the previous season, right?
That's
Traveling
right.
all over the place, not just for RCS major events, but like for events like Sunny Shore and such.
Getting the practice in, I mean, that's what it takes, right? That's what it takes when you're in this like top 10 circle, is that you have to constantly push yourself. Stagnation is the enemy of progress, and that is the death of any top player. And I mean, we're seeing it time and time again. We were talking about this a little bit before the bracket started, and we were kind of looking at how the bracket was breaking down, and we we're like, all right, there's this top 10, there's this top 10, there's this top 10, there's this top 10, there's this top 10. And then you have a couple of them where it's like, okay, this person's probably top 15, maybe top 20, but even the gap in those few spaces there is more than enough to really feel like this just unconquerable mountain, Sisyphus pushing the rock up the hill, if you will. So it's, I mean, great showing so far from all of the local enough players. LP, of course, being in the Georgia area. But, I mean, we have one really true Tampa player left in guard who has to go up against Uda, his Claren brethren. And then we have, on the other side of it for us, you know, the classics, right? We're playing the hits. We've got Cake Assault versus Kusi. We've got Soul Rival versus MSB. Y versus Volnita is going to be a great time. Super excited for that.
That's actually going to be sick.
And then, of course, Cheesy, and the match is going on right now, of Uda and Guard. So really, really, really interesting stuff here. We're going to see how this kind of breaks down. Of course, does this play out like last year's GOTE, where Cake just comes in and just, he's like, I got stuff to do, boys. I'm going to make sure I get to enjoy the rest of my Saturday, or in that case, Sunday last year, or the year before last, one of them.
Looks like we're getting Y versus Volnita right now.
We're going to jump right into losers top 8. No rest for the wicked here.
Or Y just stood up. Oh, we're not. Okay.
We are. Okay. Stream relaying it to us, guys. Once again, this is Gamers on the Edge for the Kids regional event. Make sure, if you can, check out donorbox.org/4, no FOUR, no FOR, the number key for the kids to help donate. This is going to be benefiting, of course, Tampa, Big Brothers, Big Sisters. You see all the events along the bottom there with us as well. TNS Baby, Rivals of Aether, of course, the Holiday Inn where we're staying right now, Sword Dog, Techni Sports, all the other people that have made this event possible. This is my 3rd GOTE in a row, I believe, maybe 4th. And I mean, this is something that I literally will go out of my way to support. I normally don't get Saturdays off with work. I usually get stuck. I told them ahead of time, I was like, I'm going to Clearwater. I'm not going to be here this day. GOTE's going on. I have to go down and make sure that I'm here for this event, because there's not a place I would rather be if I'm in Florida. Like, this is such a fantastic environment. The TO team is incredible. The stream team is incredible. My co-commentator is all right. We're making do. But more importantly, it's for the kids.
Yes. That's ultimately the highest, right?
Correct. We are a combined 63 on streaming right now, but this is for the kids.
My back just hurt when you said that.
For the kids. That's why I love these headsets. You can't see all the gray in my sideburns. But I will say, this nice, clean Tampa Never Sleep shirt, I look good, looking swole, looking huge in the proper way and not the fat way for once. Love to see it.
You always... No, man. You got to give yourself a little bit more credit.
I carry it well.
Yes.
It also is really crazy to look into a camera and see the two of us actually side by side. I have no idea what sort of lift they've put in these chairs.
So the difference is really just posture, right?
True. But yes, so Volnita.
I have not gone to watch Volnita play Rivals in a while. I actually am trying to think of the last event I remember seeing her at. Was it Skyline? I feel like it had to have been something else, too. There had to have been something else. I must just be brain farting.
Well, we were talking earlier. She didn't make Riptide last year, which was my last big event that I was able to get to. Did she make Genesis?
I don't recall seeing her at Genesis.
But I mean, you know, all the credit in the world. Both of these players are absolute grinders when it comes to the online scenes. I remember during the COVID season for RCS, we constantly saw Volnita making these deep runs, getting into better and better positions.
Beating
placements.
Penguin twice that season.
Penguin twice against Sylvanos, causing a real stir in that matchup. And of course, why, you know, arguably.
Highly ambitious player.
I would say arguably the best Rano right now.
It's Durai, but it's like
I'm sorry.
On the rankings, it's literally from the previous season. Durai at 10, Y at 11.
Yep.
But Durai did win major upset just earlier this season, so right now coming out ahead, but the fact that Y is flying all the way across the country, right?
And Durai did not.
Right. So how are you expected to go to Sunny Shore, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's such a I want to go so bad, and every time it's scheduled, I'm just like, oh man, flying to LA and then traveling an hour outside of the LA area for a day. I'm just like, hell, that's such a long trip.
The thing I remember the most about Y's run at Big House 10 wasn't just the run itself, which is amazing, getting third place.
Correct.
It was afterwards in the hotel room, Y said, I can't believe Cake is that much better than the rest of us. Like, I want to get there.
Yeah.
And, like, that always stuck in my head, that, like, he's still looking forward. He's still looking at the peak no matter how high he climbs.
Shout-outs to both these players picking the summer skins, considering it is a balmy 100 degrees outside here in Clearwater.
Shout-outs to both players for rocking their own coast, West Coast, Best Coast versus East Coast, Best Coast.
That's true. East Coast, Beast Coast, excuse me.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I only know the expression for the true answer, you know?
The rhyming mnemonic is important.
What even is a Beast Coast?
The best, obviously. And it's also a great esport org, too.
Yeah, but why not just say best?
Because the extra letter matters.
Okay.
I have more Scrabble tiles than you, therefore.
You get more points?
Exactly.
Okay. First stock in about 30 seconds going to Volnita.
This is the big part here. Like, I mean, Rano can punish Silvano so hard on these recoveries. So watching Volnita be able to move around this screen, and more specifically move around these ledges, is going to be so important to how this narrative goes.
Not quite going to be able to find a kill. Gets these, happy hits, as we're always happy to see. But.
Sure. And the important thing, too, in this matchup is the fact that you have this pretty big blind spot basically at the forehead of Silvanos. And Rano's got a couple ways to try to approach that, but it's a little bit telegraphed on his part, too. So this is something where you can kind of see this extension here right now, right? Volnita's at 125, while Y's already at 135 on his second stock. So I just imagine this being just kind of a difficult time if we don't see kind of that high-pressure combo game going.
Right, especially like the reason for that difficulty for Rano is that his air drift speed is so much slower than his run speed. So like you getting into position to fall at that angle is going to be a little telegraphed. Yeah.
So full stock lead here in game one. Misses dash attack, gets the combo started into the bubble.
Yep, and Volnita's just holding out during all of that, making it onto the stage, but this is an opportunity for more punishes. Woo!
That was a huge, almost 50% off that one bubble extension. We're going to see the up tilt start up here. Another one, a third one.
We got that blender hitting frappe on this frog. Oh, wow. Still had chance to fall up air out of that. Why couldn't get the chance to punish it? Waiting for an option, like waiting for a parry, and Volnita is just not giving that.
3TI out there to avoid the back air. Oh, but it's going to jump out of the up strong setup. Once again, same kind of story. I like the howl stall there. Going to be able to punish this. That's going to be a stock. 119% though.
Perfection demanded to take this game.
It's a good start.
Oh, I love that coverage.
Super smart tongue there.
Fearless.
Underneath that. That's such a tough spot there.
This movement, like having little bits of stuttering to throw off that parry timing as well. Doesn't get the wave land off. Edge cancels, but these up airs not coming together. We're starting to see those shades of Sylv having difficulty killing.
Oh, such a big character, though. Yes.
Gets the Dacus, and we hear the yes from Y.
Is dragging that all the way back. We saw that third stock start 119% deficit, and I think took maybe 2 hits along the way for finishing that off.
I think Y got up to like 140 or so. Like it got a bit scary, but just slipping through the actual kill moves, making a world of difference in this matchup.
Immediately running it back.
Same stage and everything too, right?
Yeah, I have no, like, it's just one of those things where like you have 1 or 2 conversions that go wrong, and it's the difference between you being up a game or down a game.
Yeah. It's essentially saying like, oh, there was just a couple adjustments needed.
Why did that screen turn purple? It was too early. Forgive me?
Chrono is a pretty good character in Rivals of Aether. It's like Zetterburn, right? Dan really loves the character.
I see.
Character is good.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, now we kind of see the reverse of this first game here, where Oh, okay. I was going to say, Y had an opportunity to build that up a little bit, and there's the Volnitas that I know. Make sure to let the crowd know that, don't worry, I've got the right mindset. I'm still in this.
Yep, going to cover everything with that tongue.
Solid 30% off of that 2 stacks punish there, though.
This is already getting a juicy charge on that up strong. Y staying a full stock ahead. It's really looking like the Y's edge guarding is looking to be a real nightmare for Volnitas to sneak behind.
And I'll be honest, that really is just Rano versus Sylvanos, right? Once it starts, if you can kind of control where they're going, it just makes it so difficult to kind of return back. Because think about it, your resources on stage are not there. You're slowly burning on what's going on off stage. The tongue covers so much when you have to burrow back into the stage. It's just really tough.
Beautiful waveland platform drop into bear.
And you see how long Sylvanos has to come back to the stage. Y with plenty of time there just says, all right, I'm going to go ahead and take care of this flower real quick. And that's game. Reminding us that stock now finished at 119, where he started stock 3 in game 1. And from what was a claw your way back into the victor's position first game, very confidently taking game 2. You see Volnitas, no immediate run back, putting the thought in now. Are we going to see the switch? Are we going to see a different character? Hovering over Zetter.
I know Volnitas has messed with a few different characters over the years. Looking at Claren, going right back to Sylvanos.
I fully understand the pick. I respect it. Think about a couple different options. Claren Rano, pretty tough and pretty good as just like a kind of paint by numbers matchup, really, in my opinion, for Claren. The tried and true. Going back to Sylvanos, that's, continue what brought you to the dance. The question is, where do we go? Big old stage, sorry.
No. I was about to make the same observation, right? I suppose the idea here by going to a big stage is you mitigate those early strings that Y has been getting, like just snowballing into death. But I'm also worried because I remember the end of that first game, right, was Y slipping through up airs and not quite dying. And this stage being even bigger raises the danger of that situation if Y can be just as slippery.
Absolutely. I feel like the big thing, though, is your neutral conversation can now be shouting across the screen, which is important, of course, because you're able to put more resource down as Sylvanos. You're able to really spread things out a little bit more and kind of threaten even unnaturally if you're kind of recovering with Howl or a couple different ways. That you just have to be cognizant of more things as the Rano player now.
Right now, we're just seeing Volnitas hold on to the ground she gains very, very carefully, right? Not bursting out, not overextending, and it's been helping her get into a percent lead. I think that Howl was an accident.
Yeah. But shout out to unlocking the Vicious Vine achievement. Oh, man. What a clean extension. My goodness. See you later.
Catching at the end of the pop, too. I think trying to DI out in the bubble, right? And then it pops, and now it's death DI.
So Y with a full 2-stock lead. Volnita's really going to have to dig deep now.
We've seen Volnitas, pop off and really tear people apart with the right momentum.
Absolutely.
So I know better than to counter out. But this is looking scary. Caught off stage one more time. Capitalizing on a little bit of a parry. So far it is Y doing most of the talking.
Nice. And I love these soft back airs right around the platform level too. It's so easy for Rano to navigate that kind of space and just continue to push where you want your opponent to go. But there was the Howl, the game plan for game 3. Y immediately with the answer, though. Doesn't even get a chance to use that strategy to her advantage, and Y advances into top 6 now of our top 8. Or is this to make top 8?
I believe this was to make top 8.
This was top 8.
This was top 8. Yeah. Makes it into...
We're professionals, folks.
Don't mind how much sleep we had.
Knocking the rust off, baby. So, I mean, I just have questions of where we go next as far as this top 8 is concerned because there's so many good sets. I'm assuming we're going to be sticking it out their losers.
Yes, which means we will discover who won between the two Clarens.
It was Uda. So the Tampa locals do not make it into top 8, finishing respectively each in 9th.
Oof.
Which, I mean, that's the best way for two brothers to go out, right? No one usurps the other, so they all can be like, good job, you got 9th. Good job, I got 9th.
Is this GOTE number 8 or number 9?
GOTE 8. It's at the top of the screen right here for us.
Oh, okay. I almost had something really cute, but now it's just unfortunate.
For making 9th. Oh, you can still make the joke about not making top 8, though.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that. That's mean.
But we're already here, and we've already planted the seed.
So anyway, our next set is going to be Uda versus
Cheesy.
Cheesy Potato. All right. I'm trying to recall. I know that Clarence in general don't seem terribly fond of the Crag matchup.
Yep.
Just as a general rule. I know heavies especially can just be really annoying for some Clarence to just like close that deal out.
I don't know what you're implying. I do fine.
Oh, okay.
It's the other heavies that I don't like, really. So, like, the big thing is the fact that Crag is the right body shape for Claren to be able to continue a lot of those combos against the other heavies, like your Sylve and your Edelus. They're very low profile-y. It's hard to get some of your initial starters going. But the thing about it is Uda is so it's just rote memory. Every time you see a big punish, if he gets the down air, you're going to see the up air into the fair, into whatever extension that can follow up after that. If you get the side B, you're going to see him cancel it off the stage and then go back into his next string of things. You're going to see a lot of use of maybe some up B edge guards, depending if Cheesy wants to recover high and kind of guard that off a little bit. But the big thing, too, of course, I mean, this is old news at this point, but the down B buffs. I mean, you really can lock down a lot of that space and really change how that matchup and that conversation between Claren and Crag went. So I'm very interested to see how this goes. I once again, I feel like Cheesy is the mathematical favor going into this, but Uda's one of those players that really can just pop off at crazy moments and be like, yes, this is what Claren looks like on a top level. So I'm very interested to see how this goes.
Yeah, Uda being also another big grinder in last year's season.
Sure.
Coming out, was one of those players that you literally see like 4 or 5 weekend tournaments in a row, like flying back and forth. Had an unfortunate run-in with just Edelus at like so many different events, but
that matchup sucks.
Yeah.
That matchup's so annoying.
But ultimately, I believe overcame that, right? I can't recall which Edelus. Man, my brain is not on top of my notes today. But in any case, we have ourselves the bans happening in record time going to Jules Vale. Both players happy to see each other and play against each other one more time.
I had no idea that Cheesy was hood certified. So Jules as the first stage pick here. And I like it. So for me personally, Jules is very big and Merchant's very big for me kind of establishing what I want to do in neutral as Claren. And I am no Uda, I am no guard, but I kind of still have the same sort of game plan when it comes to, navigating the stage and navigating some of the counter picks as well. So we see Uda just kind of controlling the space in neutral here, controlling center stage. And then once that first sweet spot hits, it really is just off to the races for any proper Claren.
Oh, good delay on that up special. Gets the sneak past the parry.
The problem with that low percent, though, is you saw the fair, and it just continues the same struggle here.
Really lovely spacing there, getting snuck back on the platform, but again, at this point, any fair just gets you into another edge guard.
Ooh, there we go. Nice reverse back air to continue the push.
Gonna, be ready for the tag and being ready to punish right afterwards of the up B. Cheesy closing out that first stock.
Hello.
Whoa. I was actually not expecting that angle.
You got to be ready to DI that nair. It's a funky move. Yep, double back air. Ooh, nice swing for the dare there. Cheesy ready for it, though.
I love that as a way to punish a rock break. It's interesting to see that, like, even without this field out, right, I feel like we haven't been seeing much of, like, a rock-tossing edge guard. I mean, it makes sense, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because the up B has such an active hitbox.
Right.
That you have a hard time really intercepting Claren once she's already at the wall.
Good punish here. There's the up air. At this percent, you just kind of try to follow the DI and see what you can get off of it. Big nair there into the down strong. Yes.
Once again, a little lead gone in seconds. I have a feeling that this might just be the way these first few games go. It's just dead even. Anyone's game.
Big thing now is just being able to reset the situation. The edge guards cannot go on too long for Uda, or you're going to be put in a worse and worse situation.
Good punish. Did the Rock have the hit pause to make that forward air easier to connect?
That's it. I have no idea the math on that, but it looked like it was a little bit easier.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's one of those things, too, where you have to kind of telegraph that second swing. And any time you're playing against Claren, especially on this level, that you see that second swing and you're like, all right, that's what led to the first down strong. That's what led to that fair, kind of continuing that punish. And then, of course, finally the up strong there to end game one. Uda's got some adaptation to make. Troupple coming up next. This is a huge movement-based stage for both of these characters, so we'll see who kind of has the better options here.
I know, especially just having platforms to edge cancel with is so valuable for Claren. So I definitely understand Uda opting for this as a counter pick.
Oh, yeah.
That being said, I mean, we've seen ZB, for example, getting a ton of mileage out of that down special on platforms, and also leaving a rock up on a platform above her is a cheesy staple.
I was personally expecting the down B there, getting a nice quick little Elden Ring, but still more than enough to take that first stock. Cheesy looking pretty comfortable here in game two.
Ooh, waiting for a parry and just manages to get it.
God, Cheesy's just ready for every upbeat. This is really tough.
Yeah, Cheesy in terms of like parry consistency, as
you say it.
Yeah, very, very on top of it until there. Yeah. But to be fair, right, that happening is also Uda doing a timing mix-up.
Let's go, baby, as the devs intended. That is a kill move.
Yeah, I'm so used to hearing like Ori say like, no, this move's not a kill move, but hearing you do the opposite, like advocating for a move like that.
I love upbeat kills. It's literally like the joy in my heart when that move kills. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Big strings. Oh, but misses the grab.
But backs away. Doesn't get caught by the down smash.
Ooh, that reverse up tilt was so good. And
ooh.
All smiles after that one, though. Kind of knew we reached a little bit too far in the cookie jar on that one.
Yeah, got a little too close to that. I almost said sun, but it's a big rock. Gonna go. Oh, doesn't get an edge cancel, but still keeps it going with the jab.
Big continuation here, but once again, Cheesy finds a way out.
That's not going to kill.
Missed the jump in the
wave land onto the platform. Right. Yeah, because there's definitely an extension in Uda's heart there. Just taking time here. Standing next to the boulder rock, another staple of Cragman's, right? Being able to tech off of it and just retaliate immediately.
This is my safe space. This is my friend.
This is my Thunderdome.
Steve may be banned, but I still have this.
Hey, Steve is a beautiful oh!
That's going to be it, yep. Yeah. I was wondering, would it be too close to the rock, too close to the third rock from the sun, maybe? Would this be Icarus? Would this be Daedalus? But it was Icarus this time. No, I did not have to Google Icarus's father's name in the middle of that game.
You know, I was meant to say, like, okay, maybe it was a very important, like, work-related text message that you just received. But
nope.
Looking up Daedalus's name, all right.
It was just me Googling Icarus dad.
You're Daedalus serious about that, huh?
Absolutely.
Daedalus. Anyway, we're going into game 3. Same stage, Treble Pond. Oh
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye. You see Uda lean back in the player cam too, just rough going.
And already being lapped in percent, caught off stage. Good tech and still ready for the parry with the parry right after. It's Cheesy not letting up.
One might say, between something and a hard place, what do you think it might?
A crag, I believe. A crag in a hard place.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Right, double down tilt. Just the combos are not connecting right now. Not getting those straight hits in neutral and leading into 40-50%. Cheesy just now crossing the 40% threshold after a full minute of gameplay.
Meanwhile, the stock on Claren pretty bloody, and there it goes. We have 2 2.5 stocks that Uda has to make up. Game 3. This is really demanding once again. Breaks the rock, getting rid of that tech option with the down air.
But you see the hard DI out there. It's really tough to cover that, and I mean, that's just the cheese special.
Because the thing is that DI in that direction, right, would have then opened up potential to tech against the rock, right? Like, so it's good in 2 different situations.
The lowest down tilt connecting.
Uda just looking to keep this pursuit going, but every single time you get like a single hit snuck in.
And it's funny too, because you see these moments where you see these big hits finally connecting, but they hit the rock as well. And so it changes the DI angle and changes the velocity so quickly for Crag to have to deal with. And it just makes it easier for now to live to 165, 172.
I love just taking around the rock and then using it to retaliate to try to make her way back down to the stage. Uda still controlling the center stage, but I mean, I'm looking at the percent of 125. Yeah, just going to end up dying there. Cheesy Potato winning with a 3-0. That match just looked so staggeringly in her favor.
Fear not, ladies and gentlemen at home. I assume we will eventually see a Game 4. Hasn't happened yet, but we will eventually see a Game 4.
This is a very odd tournament.
Yes. 30, 30, 30, 30, 30.
Or Game 5, Game 5, Game 5.
Game 5s are
Oh, I guess the Game 5s have been happening off stream, right? But there have been a ton of Game 5s going on before the stream sets have been happening, right? ZBY was Game 5. That was off stream.
Right.
ZB Kusi Cheesy Potato was off stream. That was Game 5. MSB versus ZB was off stream. That was Game 5.
I need to just talk about that for a second because that was such a ridiculous set. It starts Olympia, MSB Olympia. We have to clarify players too. MSB Olympia versus ZB's Edelus.
Yeah.
Then it goes MSB's
Crag
versus Edelus.
ZB's Edelus, yeah.
Then ZB goes Clarin.
Well, it's MSB locks into Olympia. To start the next game. So then ZB retaliates
with Clarin.
Yeah. Because then MSB went Clarin the game afterwards.
Because ZB then selected Malo, and MSB decided to play a 70-30 matchup and play Clarin. And then we finally got the matchup we expected, which was Crag Malo on Burning Hideout, and MSB just absolutely drugged that out to the last possible hit. And now, with the way the bracket broke out, I mean, ZB doesn't even make a top 8.
Yep.
You know, and that's how it works sometimes. It's how the cookie crumbles. It's how the rock crumbles. And, you know, shout out to the counter pick masters. That is those two geniuses /
That was like
idiots.
An integral part of MSB's pop-off. It's like, I am better at counter-picking. I am the best counter-picker.
My TriCast is better than your TriCast. Or did ZB go quad? Excuse me, did MSB go quad? Because it was Olympia,
Clarin and Crag.
Okay,
that's 3, yeah. And then...
What was the first game he won then?
The first game he won was with Crag.
Yep.
And then lost the... Olympia game, I believe?
That was the first game.
No, like he was Olympia 2 games.
Oh, so he won one of the games with Olympia.
No, I think he lost both of the games with Olympia. Because then he went Clarin into Malo, and then it was Crag and Malo.
But that's only 2 wins.
Well, no, because he won previously with the Crag into Edelus. So it was Crag, Edelus.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. The memory starts to go after a while.
Look, even in our old age, we're still about for the kids, right? That's the reason we're so passionate.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here. We are the big brothers and the big brothers and big sisters of Tampa Bay. And my son is going to be back on stream in just a moment, so.
I mean, in the meantime, this is a perfect opportunity to check out donorbox.org/4thekids. That's the number 4.
Not FOR. Not FOUR. 4.
We are $153 away from a donation incentive. What incentive is that? Okay.
Streamer telling us we're so close to this. We're just like, what's up? And he's just like, all right, we will find out. So we are on bated breath, as are you at home. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Saturday.
The fastest way to find out is honestly just hitting the incentive.
That's true.
Yeah, like if you guys hit the incentive before production gets back to us, I think that'd be fantastic.
I mean, I really think that you're almost obligated to do it at this point, guys. I mean, come on.
Guys,
it's for the kids.
It's honestly like the organizations that GOTE partners with every single year do just such fantastic work. And you can really just see the absolute passion that the tournament event organizers have for all of this. Yeah.
What a good friend, fixing your opponent's headset for them.
There is a player in Smash 4 named Bootless.
Yeah.
I will never forget. We sit down at a setup, and like I have these dinky earbuds that I'm plugging in.
Yeah.
And he's these huge bass, like massive ear covering ones. And he's like, "Oh, don't use that. Here, use mine." He just hands me his headphones, my opponent, before our set. And yeah, if you're ever in NorCal and you see Bootless around, he is the GOAT for that specific reason. I know the odds of a Rivals of Aether audience watching this years and years later is staggeringly small, but I want to make sure I put that energy out there just in case.
We are nothing if not esoteric references to the past. We are monuments to age.
Some of our references are older than some of the players. That's
Shut up.
Anyway, we have ourselves Kusi versus Cake Assault. We remember that online season, of course, and we always must mention it whenever we see this player matchup, where I believe Kusi went 5-0 or 6-0 against Cake Assault during the quarantine.
Cake loves it when we bring this up.
Yeah, he says, because Cake has always said, put me in the same room as him, I can beat him in person, and so far he's been true to that.
It's true. I don't think he's lost a land set to him, right?
No. If he has, then I feel like I must have really missed it, because my understanding is Cake Assault was insanely consistent in the previous season.
Whoa, big back air, but Kusi's going to barely survive that. We're going to cover the recovery. Nice. Out, yep, there it is.
Catch 2 on that glide back to the stage, 94%. And meanwhile, I mean, Cake's had plenty of time now to fully warm up to Rivals, right? Especially after his set with guard. So I don't feel like that's going to be a factor either. Down air is going to put Ori close to the border of the stage.
He was going to die there, too. It's so quick. We saw that up tilt start. I was like, you are getting combusted.
What? Did he get interrupted out of combust right there? Because he doesn't have the stacks anymore. Or maybe it was smoke screen. I didn't see what it was.
Going to clear that out there. Yep, using sign to clear that path.
This is the thing you must learn to beat Cake Assault, right? Is mastery of this edgeguard situation.
And just the DI carrying him too far out there. But a nice 92%. And yeah, I was going to say, Ori not long for this world at that percent.
Good spacing by Kusi, just backing away from the plat drop. Nice. We do still have Cake with a stock lead, but the bash is going to put a lot of damage. Yeah, going to take that whole stock. Now it's Cake's chance to answer. Just gets only a down air, but keeps the pressure going and gets the back air to back air. Cake Assault.
I need to break this down. Hold on.
Yes.
So this exact same situation just happened the stock before, which led to Kusi getting the reversal and getting the stock. Kusi teched in place. We saw Cake Assault go for the down air at the roll position and doesn't get it. It leads to the reversal. Kusi then takes it and pushes it to game stock 3. Then we see the exact same scenario happen, and this time Cake says, all right, I'm going to dare on the tech in place. It leads to the triple back air. Cake Assault is so freaking good at this game. God, I love breaking down this gameplay.
Man,
I watched that and I was just like, oh shit, it's the exact same setup. Oh my god.
The speed of Cake Assault's like adaptations against each opponent is just so insane to watch over the years, right? And it's something that he just consistently is forced to improve on too. As much as he has stayed ahead, like his opposition is still looking to climb, right?
Right. It's not a stagnant position for 2 through 5. Mm-hmm. It's just the fact that 1 is such a wider distance than it's ever been.
Oh, important parry here. Cake managing to sneak on to stay on the ledge.
I like this counter pick for Kusi, though. I mean, you change up the platform layout, change how you can mix up your recoveries, but the big thing is can you continue the offense? You see both times there, Cake Assault going to be doing a wave land onto that plat, trying to prep for kind of some kind of panic option, maybe cover with a down strong, and each time Kusi's been there and say, okay, I've got a jab waiting for you.
It's interesting because now that you mention it, I tend to see Kusi counterpick stages with a lot more real estate, right? Because Kusi doing the wave dash back with the sign charge tends to be a really strong neutral option. So instead opting for a stage where the distance can be closed very easily and being more on the aggressive, I kind of like this, yeah.
We see the up strong miss there for Cake. Just the game deciding we have to put a limiter on his powers. 164. 4 now, but so much smoke, so many options down there. Going to be able to recover still, has the clone.
And ultimately, Kusi's not in a rush, right? Knows that Ori has the speed to pick up wherever Cake ends up appearing. Getting both bodies with that up air perfectly placed and then chasing to the edge of the screen.
Oh, and just immediately answers back too. I mean, that low back air is so good for especially how Kusi likes to move around that screen, kind of in that, almost at eye level with Forsburn there. So really be able to respond before anything too damaging can happen.
I also like seeing the little sign taps I believe those sign taps were clearing out the smoke.
Right.
That Kusi was doing earlier, right? Because that's one of those questions is in order to clear smoke, you kind of are whiffing a move.
Right.
And being able to do that non-committally. Very useful. That being said, 95%.
Clone not quite sending where they needed to there. Cake was ready with the down strong to finish off that stock at an early percent.
The plat movement by Kusi on that approach to be on that high platform and then drop down so that when Cake tried to escape there, he could let go of that charge and catch him. That was amazing. And yeah, Cakeasol is the one to take that stock, has the smoke string ready to go. Let the stocks last for just a little bit longer. Waits for the parry.
Longer, Nick. A lot bit longer.
Oh, yes. I love that up tilt, right? Trying to take away the smoke at the last minute when Cake has already committed to that location. Up air is going to close out only 32% onto Kusi.
Ooh, good air dodge onto the stage there. Kusi trying to come back, trying to mount an offensive here. Only a small gap, but that parry could be very big here. Oh, so patient, so scary.
Oh.
Like that clone just stayed out there for so long. A lesser Force would have popped it a long time ago.
Just interrupting the back air just before it comes out and finding the bash right afterwards. Kusi taking game 2.
And that's what it takes sometimes. You just find that string, and that's the benefit of this stage is you're trying to make sure you have this real estate to land, and Kusi's like, okay, I can navigate this aerial space a lot faster than you can recover, so I'm going to make sure I'm in the right position to close this out. 1-1, our first confirmed game 4 of top 8.
Oh, you've been waiting for so long.
I just would like to see one. I mean, we were on gold split the entire time.
I feel like every time we reach a game 4, in honor of For the Kids, right?
Of course.
People should just toss in maybe $4.
Yeah, it's game for the kids.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're right around the corner for that donation incentive. We have ourselves our bands from Kusi. We got Endless Abyss, Forest Floor, and Spirit Tree. I know Spirit Tree is a stage that Cake Assault will 0 to death anybody on.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And I imagine Forest Floor with its short ceiling is going to be the same thing. Opting to get rid of a stage with no platforms as well. I'm definitely want to run through this set again later and properly give a think about all this because this is really interesting.
And this is Kusi at his peak here. These extended edge guards already at 64, 71%. Cake has to find a footing in neutral.
I mean, this edge guard so far is about 30 seconds. And this is how you the players who have beaten Cake, it cannot be said enough. It's on the back of the edge guard, right? Being able to maximize the amount of damage they get once they get this opening.
That's going to be a stock. No, misses that last up air. Great DI from Cake Assault. How do we approach?
And Kusi is not in a rush at all, right? Just backs away, lets Cake Assault drop in with that back air and finds yet another opening. One more push to the wall. Cake gets just dimes there.
This is so scary. I feel like the monster is unleashed. Oh, no punish on the jab parry, though. Just resets. Smart. I mean, really, honestly, the smartest thing you can do. You have so much of a lead here. There's no reason to risk that high up on the plat.
Especially when Cake has invincibility.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not Cake. You do have invincibility, but I suppose, yeah, just not taking any unnecessary risks. Gives you the opportunity to try to milk this lead. The one thing, though, we saw this before with the set with Guard, right, is you give Cake Assault time, he starts setting up this smoke, and then playing neutral against him gets only harder from there.
Oh, my gosh, the down strong almost enough there. Yep. Oh, man, and this is what we're talking, right? You let the monster live. You do not shoot Michael Myers in the head, and he is back to kill you by the end of the movie.
Did he end up dying at the end of Halloween Ends?
We don't talk about that movie. That movie sucked. I'm talking about every other Halloween movie.
Fair enough. All right, we got ourselves finally Cake Assault stock on. I'm mentally still stuck on all of that damage being done from that first edge guard, and then Cake still managing to take the stock first.
And it's one of those things, too, where you perform so well, but it ends up almost being mental damage against yourself for not being able to find that closer. Yeah. Now, this is not Kusi's game, though. Kusi is going to be more than strong enough, and we almost see him finish it there. Sign not quite behaving as intended, and you see, once again, Cake Assault just waiting and thinking. Look at these down tilts.
I love that Cake is laughing right now. Because the thing that's great is when you get hit by that up air, you're holding down, right? That's not the DI you want. But, I mean, I do understand, like, Cake just kind of feeling goofy right there. It's like, you see wave dashing back and forth by Ori. It's like, I don't want to jump at that.
Oh, my goodness. The parry punish on that. And here he comes.
The crowd yelling fish.
King. Oh, King.
Oh, they yelled King? Okay,
King Troupple. Shout out to the patch like 2 days ago.
This one was actually in a hotfix.
Good.
This was much earlier than the other 6.
All right, here is the extended edge guard again here. Can we see Kusi slam the door?
Oh, I love that little wait with the up strong too, expecting Cake to feel confident getting in right during that end lag.
I saw that down tilt and I just felt the life flash before my eyes. Okay, doesn't get the runway up air there.
Focuses on the happy little hits.
There's the air dodge up. No, it doesn't use it yet.
Oh, that was opportunity, but Kusi's not going to drop it. Uses the air dodge to extend out. Are you serious, Kusi?
Oh my God, these players, and that's going to be it.
No way! Kusi catching his breath afterwards, and I don't blame him. That ambitious up B in the corner.
And you saw the umbrella taps. I'm like, it's not like that's never going to purple, but like, as a fellow up B aficionado, good work, good work.
All that being said, bros, I do have a confession to make.
Yes.
Completely off topic.
Yes.
I did not realize this whole time the reason it's called Troupple. It's because there's a trout and an apple. Because I just now noticed the stem.
Well, I'm proud of you for eventually picking up the thing that we all realized 10 years ago. We're proud of progress. Progress is being made.
Every day somebody discovers something cool for the first time.
Correct.
Yeah. Today was just my day as one of the 10,000. That being said, I mean, we got to point out, Kusi up 2-1 against Cake Assault. Cake opting for the Land of Fours floor now.
Goodbye. I said it earlier, I'll say it again. From the cradle to the grave, 0 to death already. Goodness. And it's just one of those moments when, like, you see how Game 3 went and how much Cake wasn't taking it seriously.
the down tilt on the platform especially.
I just... It's scary, right? Like, this is a loving and graceful God we see in front of us that is just gifting away games like that. And I just wonder if it's all for the sake of, oh, well, I just felt like losing. Like, I know it's not, but, like, Cake is such a great player, but you can't play like that against someone like Kusi because it can just as easily end as a 3-1 right now.
Oh, gets the back air. Gonna kill, too. I mean, I don't know. This is leading credence to your theory, right? Having this 2-stock lead just immediately after that previous Game 3.
And watch, like you saw the DI away from the up air. Cake knew the combo was over and just went back into the smoke, and now is going to continue advantage instead. My goodness. Nick, is this going to be another 0 to death? Oh, the dev said no. Dan says no.
I feel like that had to be a little bit of like DI too on Kusi's end, right? Just once again sneaking outside of that up strong. Beautiful catch with the forward strong. Gonna take that stock. 126 on Ori on the stage. The back air is gonna do it. Absolutely.
Traded the JV for it, and now we go. Guys, we completely forgot to mention, donate game for the kids.
Yes, donate game for the kids. It ended
game
before we could
was
remember
over so quickly, before we could even read off the URL, which if you forgot it already is donorbox.org/4 the kids. Make sure you get in there. I know we were close earlier to our next donation incentive. I hope at this point we've already passed it, but if not, guys, let's get us over the next hump.
Game 5.
Game 5.
Merchant board.
Oh, the classic. And now it's Kusi's turn to come off strong. Ooh, quick parry, though.
I can definitely see Kusi, like, this stage playing to Kusi's strength, especially considering how on point he is with his platform movement. Not just in terms of making himself hard to catch, but being able to split exactly where Sign is covering so quickly, right?
Well, the big thing, too, is how much space you have to get running. When you get these big hits and they're able to launch yourself off stage into those up airs and their finishers into the nair. So, you know, you see already just using this extra horizontal space, but, I mean, Cake just answers. Finds out the gaps in your dash dance and just immediately answers.
Ooh, the paracel was so good! Kusi now having the opportunity, getting the edge guard.
Starts high.
Clearing the smoke and catching Cake retreating to the smoke on stage. Gets rid of the rest of it. Tries to use the sign explosion. Doesn't quite catch it. Oh, it doesn't get the edge cancel, but escapes. And Cake is still on top of it. Still catches that fastfall.
Ooh.
All right. Looks. Just recovers back on stage. Doesn't do an air dodge stall.
Super low. Oh, but uses the sign pop to get all of the resources back.
Oh, ready to go with that parry. I mean, this is dead even.
You flipped a coin and you guessed wrong. Anton Chigurh is standing there.
The stakes are everything. Just holding my breath here. There we go. Dashing back with that forward strong.
2 stocks to 2. 0 to 0.
2 to 1. 2% to 1%. The tiniest of margins.
Big string already. Nice. Gets the continuation of the jab. Oh, but the down air there to answer back. He says, you're just going to threaten this platform. You're not coming up here.
Once again,
and now it's
a 1% difference.
And you see Cake slowing things down a little bit, respecting the neutral a little bit more.
I like the use of the charge flame, right? Again, clearing out huge packets of that smoke, not letting it get out of control like it did earlier this set.
With just the rush in with that huge back air.
Back air is
not
going to...
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. That was such great DI on the vertical part of it, but could not get the secondary DI to get back to the stage. I know this is huge. I mean, we're going to see an edge guard here, but I mean, outside of the bash, you're really just going to be rinse, wash, repeat. You have to play at the top of your game to get this, continue this out now.
Waits till the last moment to detonate that smoke, but Cake Assault doesn't even look for it. Going to find the bash.
Yep,
there we go.
Sees the bad DI.
Well, to be fair, it is like a bit of a mix-up, right? Because if you always DI out, then Kusi gets to cover the ledge, right? And gets to like rinse repeat.
Sure.
Yeah. Not all 50-50s are. Anyway, we have ourselves a whole merchant port full of pollution right now. This is just going to be more and more layers of annoyance. I like that dash back before that dash attack, too. It caught a little bit more smoke and set up for that sweet hit, and Cake Assault SDing Kusi. Fist pumping right there. I mean, you absolutely earn it to bring Cake Assault to the point where a single situation like that gets you the win, right? There's still everything else up to that point.
You see the shrug there at the last moment, too, of just whatever.
I mean, we take those.
And Shippy's just like, oh, thank God. Thank God, I only have to be kick once now.
I hear the crowd asking, how did you beat him?
Help you get out of the way.
Somebody else saying, we take those, of course. That was...
I mean, wow. Yeah, you hate to see Game 5 end like that.
Yes.
But now we get to see Loser's Cake. No, but we need to not talk about Cake right now. We talk about Kusi, who just kept his composition, kept his position. I mean, we saw a dominant, a really well response to Cake not taking Game 3 as seriously as he could have. And we talked about how that could have come back to bite him. Game 4 looked like, oh, it's Cake Assault. Okay. But Game 5 was, we finally saw that heavyweight fight that we had seen in so many online tournaments between these two. And, just a momentary slip-up. That's all it takes. It could have been either way. I mean, we saw it in the sets off-screen in Game 5 with Cheesy and Kusi, where Cheesy parried at an important moment, and you see just Kusi vaulting off the stage into the abyss. And now you see the slip-up from Cake, who we don't see that from. Kusi more than happy to take advantage of that, more than happy to punch that ticket into top 4 now, and guaranteed winners finals. And it's going to be Shippy versus MSB.
Yes.
Soul Rifle versus
MSB.
Very nice.
I do also want to shout out. We did see also adaptations come out from Kusi as well through that. On top of having just an iron will to not be completely demoralized of getting 3 stocked on Game 4. Because the moment I keep thinking of is, I believe it was the end of Game 1, right? Where you mentioned this, being not sure about Kusi letting off the gas pedal just long enough for Cake to spread that smoke around. Yep. Ever since then, Kusi stayed on top of clearing out that smoke every time the gap in exchanges grew too long, right? Sometimes it was a spirit tap, sometimes it was letting go of the charge flame, or just spacing moves just right to cover out huge chunks of it. And I think that consistency helped prevent some of those comebacks from happening again in the future games as well.
Sure, sure. And it's important too. We saw in game 1 how confidently that Cake Assault was able to finish that off with that that read of the previous situation immediately afterwards, and we didn't see those same kind of negative situations again after that. I mean, the finishes that Cake got, we saw some of the upstrongs be a little goofy at times. It happens with Forsburn, but like every other situation there, it wasn't just, I know you're going to do this, I'm going to be able to set up ahead of time, I have everything laid out, and it was really just the two of them kind of taking these stray shots at each other. Now, on the opposite side of that is going to be our next set that's coming up here. MSB versus
Soul Rifle.
Soul Rifle, thank you. Versus Soul Rifle. You're going to see, of course, Maple versus Crag. Maybe?
MSB has... Oh, I do love his shirt.
That's sick. That's sick. As a purveyor of goofy Garfield shirts myself, that's an excellent shirt.
I told MSB that I feel like his fashion choice today really encompasses so much of Rivals culture, like all at once. You have like the Hawaiian shirt over Garfield with like this weird I Hate Mondays, yeah?
Yes, but you see the skeletons on the Hawaiian shirt and the coconuts are skulls.
Oh, I did not see that. That's even more perfect. Anyway, game immediately launching into full swing. We have ourselves Soul Rifle launching into a bit of an edge guard, not completely running away with it, but still constantly on the offensive. Soul Rifle just always a player to want to stick to his opponent as much as possible, not give them a chance to breathe. Getting rid of the pillar there with a little stray toss.
I know ABM isn't everything, but my God, the Soul Rifle ABM.
Yeah. Like Cake Assault said it himself, that like Soul Rifle is a player that he will never expect to outspeed, right? All right.
Very confidently, goes out there to break up the tower. MSB with a pretty quick response and just immediately goes, this is how you finish this coverage.
Again, like, just the ability for Soul Rifle to consistently harass people off stage, right? Like, that's him taking advantage of Maple's speed to be able to be there and then back on stage to cover the ledge.
Ooh, nice wall jump off there.
And still, though, Soul Rifle just the clean spacing, walking away and landing a forward strong. Setting up Lily on the platform, helping the option coverage even more.
Tech's in that situation, but answers the tech as well.
Gets the air dodge there with that up B, putting Soul Rifle up 2 stocks.
Oh my gosh, you're right. It is 3-1 now. Yikes.
I mean, Soul Rifle has been just on this tear for over the past year now, right? Essentially, it's like his sights is purely on Cake Assault now, as the one player left to conquer, because he's been able to get past everybody else. 3 stock to start off the set. Knowing how deep MSB's like counter pick pockets are, I would not be shocked if he hovered over another character on this screen, right? Like, because that's
you saw Soul Rifle's reaction. There is another character.
He's shaking his head.
There's another character.
You see, okay, the nod from MSB. What is this?
I'm assuming it's going to be the Olympia. I mean,
yeah, it might be.
There's also the Game 3 Clarin that we've seen from him from time to time when the Crag's not working.
It is the Olympia, though, yeah. And I can actually kind of understand this. I have a feeling that part of what motivated this Olympia change, aside from MSV just telling me it's partly for like the Forsburn matchup, is like seeing Sego and his massive success in his last season, right? Especially against these two players, Soul Rifle and Cake Assault. Kind of gives you an idea of like this might be a way to approach this matchup with this character to get some success that I'm not able to get with Crag. And also just Olympia's sick as hell. Just the coolest character in the game. This is actually, though, looking a little tough. Honestly, this is a really good counter pick from Soul Rifle going to Endless Abyss.
Usually from MSB.
MSB chose this stage?
Oh, it would be his counter pick.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'm personally not super big on this stage as Olympia, just because I feel like her laddering potential is a big part of her punish game. And without having platforms to ladder off of, it kind of gets in your way, right?
Sure. So the big thing that I was watching MSB do earlier in the brief time we were able to watch this is when he gets a chance to set up, much like, oh my goodness.
Beautiful catch.
Much like when you see Soul Rifle set up here with Lily across stage, immediately sets up the crystal and starts feinting those jumps and kind of be able to create his own sort of like horizontal movement and boost that you see there that's so important for this character. So I really feel like he's more going to be on the neutral side of things than just focusing on those individual ladders, because because when he gets those hits, he quickly realizes, okay, this is when I have a mid-screen ladder and I can kind of continue from here. But, oh, man, second verse, same as the first, looking real rough right now. Especially now. I mean, you're just almost fresh out of resources, and that's it.
That felt shorter than the previous game.
And that was with a stock loss, too.
Yeah.
That was with another additional stock, and it was just off stage, you're dead.
The other reason, that the Endless Abyss pick is risky, I think, as Olympia, is you also want those platforms to recover with, because so much of your recovery is horizontal. And the more different heights you can recover with,
or try
the more
to cancel off of. I mean, now we see this as an option.
This is, I like this as an Olympia stage. That being said, like, Soul Rifle is incredibly good and looks to be just tearing apart MSV every time he finds an opening. But I would expect to have a slightly easier time both recovering and closing out stocks, especially you get one of those sweet hit, just sour hit fairs, right? Just off the, oh my God.
Much like that, much like that. And we're just like, okay.
Yeah, this is already looking dangerous. Gonna wait out, find his way back to the stage.
Ooh, okay, yep, there's the down air though. Interrupts that really nice sequence there for a second. Ladder.
Not quite there, but...
Oh, I mixed up the percents,
No tether. Soul Rifle just going to keep watch over this ledge.
Nice. Great early release on that.
It puts Olympia in a position where she can react to a button pressed by the opponent. But of course, the opponent can also just like wait or like jump out of the way, right, and then punish the end lag on it.
Right, and some of the interesting things too is I've seen Olympia struggle against the Sword S characters in this game. Like I know Claren's not exactly a fun matchup for Olympia.
Oh, not at all.
And I feel like the vines on the strong attacks are going to be very similar to that, where you can just kind of outrange her. And MSB, good luck in losers. Because this is looking really bad right now.
Okay, MSB takes 2 stocks this set.
Yep, correct. Now if he can just do 3 in one game, we'll be making some progress.
Yeah, this is looking tough. I mean, it's good that he gets this data, too, right? Like, especially since this is a new character he's looking to invest time in. One of the big data points is, like, how does this do against the players that give me trouble?
So much.
It's so cool.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It is awesome.
My name's Skinny Mouse Crag. I'm going to tilt you across the screen, and you'll be tilted during it.
Look, I'm just saying Makoto is the coolest Street Fighter character, so why not have just Makoto in every game?
Oh, yeah? How many games has she been in?
Not enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, you agree with me. She needs to be in more.
And yep.
Forward air double dunk is going to do it.
I wasn't sure if we were going to get the DI into the Shoryuken, or if we were going to get the double fair there, and Chippy pops off to the crowd after a 3-0, slapping hands. The enthusiasm from this young man, well, I mean, on a different level.
He's in winners finals against Kusi, not against Cake. This is putting him in a fantastic position going into the rest of this tournament.
And there is Michael Myers lurking behind him again. The tiniest, most adorable Michael Myers you'll ever see. Just, I mean, it's so funny watching the two of them interact. Because it really is, I mean, once again with the dated references, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito just on screen together. Just like, sup, brother?
Are you referencing the cinematic classic Twins?
Of course, obviously. We went from No Country for Old Men, now we're back to Twins. And suddenly we're going to be talking Golden Age of Hollywood. I mean, we are absolutely dating ourselves. But I wouldn't rather do it anywhere else than GOTE 8, because I'm dating myself.
Everyone should date themselves, especially if you're single.
For the kids. For the kids, G-Pick.
Yeah, for the kids. Sorry.
For the kids.
I had an ADHD moment there.
Donorbox.org/4, not F-O-R, not F-O-U-R, the number key 4, thekids.com. We're getting closer and closer to whatever that mysterious incentive is. We will never know.
Unless you guys reach it.
It's already been hit.
I need to know, which means that incentive needs to be hit.
Listen, our man's already busy running stream. We got to let him focus on that.
No,
because otherwise, how would we tell you? What was the URL?
The URL, of course, is donorbox.org /for the kids.
That's right. I need you to make sure you check that out, guys. There's not a better event ran that is just purely charity focused. I mean, GOTE for the longest time has been a completely smashing success, no pun intended there, but just a fantastic event, not only supporting the Tampa scene for years. I mean, this has been a 24-hour marathon event for God knows how long, but this is a team that goes into hospitals with, full setups for kids who are sitting through chemotherapy or whatever process they have to go through, and making sure that they are able to be distracted by the stress of the situation. And now we're supporting Big Brothers Big Sisters for the Tampa Bay area. I mean, I can't say enough good things about Angel and all the people involved with this tournament, and all the great things that we're able to do because of their community outreach. Rivals has been important for them for years now. You look at, of course, the Dragon mascot that you can include as well. You look at how long, last year or the year before last, one of the two, GOTE kicking off the RCS season for the first time, Season 7.
Oh, last year, yeah.
I mean, it's just been such an integral part. And, even when you have just these moments here, we're looking at them striking now. I mean, it's hard for me to circle back around all immediately.
Oh, no problem. It's just I wanted to get to, this is Y versus Kakasol. This is like, Y beat ZB, right? Already today. Kakasol was the other player he lost to in that Big House 10 run.
Will the revenge tour continue?
Yeah, and especially, I'm so excited to see this set because Y set his sights on, I want to be at Cake's level, right? This is kind of an update check of how close are you now?
Right.
And I know for him as a player, that's a huge deal.
Kind of a risky up air there. Y's going to push Kakasol very far, but able to respond back.
Oh, turning it all around on him.
That's the benefit of that airspeed, man. You were in disadvantage, but you got back to stage before Rano did. Uh-oh.
I do know that Kakasol, last time I talked to him, was of the opinion that Forsburn wins this matchup pretty handily. Has a strong control of the neutral. Both these characters should edgeguard the heck out of each other. But
which we saw, yeah.
A big part of it is just having that dagger and being able to take advantage of just down tilt especially, or jab, down tilt, right? Being able to cover all that space. And if Rano wants to go above it, Rano has to then rely on slower airspeed, right? And that's going to give Kakasol a little bit window of reaction is the way that he put it. Oh, looking to catch the edge cancel there. Y just feints back, but Kakasol's already rushing to take control of that space that he gives up, and the next down air spike gonna give ourselves not only Cake on his first stock, but with full combust ready to go.
Only 66% too.
This is, you look at Y going ahead and getting so much damage, but the thing is, yes, Smoke Screen is going to be able to create at least one recovery for Kakasol, maybe even more if he's sent in that same direction. It might not even come to that with the way that this string is going.
That frog is the color of a basketball and just getting dribbled in the right-hand side of the screen.
Sound of 1 foot clapping.
The problem with that is it barely nets you anything. Kind of that same kind of Sheik syndrome, right? Where you can just do all of these little hits and just get almost nowhere sometimes.
Reminds me of a Pikachu, too, in that way.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love the awareness of when he has that corner tech chase situation and always having tongue set up to catch any direction.
Unfortunately, Cake does eventually land, ending this edge guard and ending the game at the same time. I was not able to keep that pressure on. Kakasol snuck past it, and that was just all she wrote for game 1. But we did see a marked improvement in the middle of that game. Y really centered himself on that last stock, and we saw the disadvantaged state of Forsburn in this matchup as well. So we'll see how this continues on in game 2. So we immediately banned Rockwall. Not a huge surprise there. Frozen and Ethereal Gates as well. Interesting.
Frozen Gates. Huh. Yeah, very interesting. Gonna go to Forest Floor, though, as White's pick. Considering Dacus is like a staple of the Rano diet for closing out stocks.
Sure.
Can totally understand this as a stage pick.
Ooh, stuffs out the grab.
Good catch on the tech in place with the fair. Wow.
Okay, yep. Good parry. All right, we're just going to grab not too much off this, I don't think. Actually, nice 25%.
Yeah.
But then Cake just quietly stands there waiting for an option and then recontrols neutral and then puts more smoke back out.
Why just actually taking his time long enough to bait out a approach from Kick Assault. Managing to get a little bit more.
How did he end up there? Excuse me?
Tech roll back, maybe?
You hear Soul Rifle in the crowd. Please. Please lie.
I mean, they are actually really great.
I know. It's just definitely convenient.
If you remember the pop-off video when Soul Rifle beat Cake Assault, that is why being swung around.
That's correct. That's correct. Now, as a repeat of the first game, though, 3 stocks to 1. We had the Combust online using the smoke screen to come back and kind of reset, but there's that one hit up air into the up strong.
Still such a hill to climb. Cake Assault ready with his parry. Avoiding punishment there, too.
Whew. Great DI out, but still going to be stuck in the blender here. Interesting, Cake not pushing that too much. Actually, he's laying low with the down tilt just in case that Y tried to come in hot.
So far, all these trades, again, end up helping out Cake Assault overall. He has more currency to gamble.
Right. Whether that's stock, whether that's percentage, whether that's position, I mean, the house always wins.
Wow, being able to catch the tongue there.
But doesn't get the right hit of the down air there. I was almost expecting the back air in that position, and now we're a stock piece.
I mean, we've seen why. Remember against the Vulnitas, right?
Right.
Yeah. One from essentially the same deficit. Doing it against Cake a little bit harder.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, on to game 3. I don't know if that was just bad positioning or got caught out of a double jump there with that down air, but on to game 3.
It definitely looked like I think of them as like critical hits when you weren't holding the stick expecting to get hit and your DI is just completely unfortunate.
Correct. And that angle was ugly too, to be shot off like that. But Jules Vale here for game 3. Will the moving platform deliver success with those boxes up there for Y now?
And will it deliver him a game? I'll find out.
Good start already. Nice 42, 43. Oh, ducks out of the way. Can Cake punish this? Not much on that. Actually comes down with the
Stole a
down
double
air.
jump as well. Oh, going ambitious for that.
Both players parrying at a safe distance from each other. Oh my god, the turn on with the nair, but Y's going to be able to answer back.
I love coming out of there swinging with the dive kick as a way to disrupt those back airs.
Yep.
Oh, beautiful.
Cake is all more than ready. Positions that weak back air perfectly into the down air.
Oh, and another opportunity?
We see here, Cake playing it patient.
It's the Combust ready to go. We have 48%.
Patient enough, I should say.
Oh, that's going to be so hard to DI.
Oh, he gets it, though.
Cake just disrupting the bubble location.
Oh, tough situation down there. Loses the resources. Maybe a slip up down on the bottom. But, I mean, we did see him bring this back to last stock in the last game. Can he do it now?
I don't know. With the way that Cake is playing this game, this is looking even more lopsided than the first one.
Down there, here's the platform. How are we going to use it?
Here's the full Combust. If Cake catches the recovery.
That's sick. That's sick.
Wow. I wasn't sure whether or not that would kill the bubble, right?
I was just like, I assume Cake knows what he's doing because you saw him advance so quickly there. I mean, and just clinical. I mean, that's a rough matchup according to Cake. I'll take his word on it.
Yeah.
That looked rough.
I do remember at the time, Dry was like, no, it's even. Cake is just insanely good. But then as time went on, Dry was like, yeah, actually, that matchup, I hate it.
Tough sled in there for Y. I mean, we saw the knowledge check. We saw the update edition check. And Cake still a couple versions ahead right now. Y had some very promising moments in that set. Wasn't able to convert that into any game wins, unfortunately. But always more data, always more knowledge, always more progress. So we'll see how the next lineup for them goes. I'm trying to think where we might be headed next. Would it be BOBC? I mean, that would be the next rivals.
I mean, that's this weekend.
Never mind. It is not BOBC, which is funny because I was like, oh yeah, Bagel's going to be doing this, but it's in Canada, not knowing where Bagel is, not knowing where BOBC is. Well, I know where BOBC is. It's in British Columbia, but
yeah,
I just assume, Bagel's a Canadian player. He'll be there. But he's here with us.
Yeah.
Enjoying the Florida sun, and you should be too. But thankfully, even though that you're not here with us, here with us in spirit. You're here with us on stream. You're sharing these moments with us. And we are all part of the lore of GOTE 8 so far. And it's just important to realize that this is such an important way to support not just the stream, but of course the charity event that's going on. But you're here watching Rivals with us, seeing the next chapter being written. And this next part of the chapter, I assume, is just going to be a Crag Ditto the entire time because we have Cheesy Potato versus MSB.
I mean, we've seen MSB look to other characters every now and then, but... So here's the thing. I know MSB really dislikes the Crag Mirror historically.
Right.
But I feel like lately he's been having a lot more success in it, especially against ZB in the Crag Mirror. So I think there is a good chance we might just see Crags all the way down.
Look at these beetles go.
Just boxing.
This is sick.
I love those little like shared brain cell moments, right?
Oh yeah. Great parry. Uses that invincibility all the way back up on the stage. Wow, wow, wow. That was a long invincibility there.
This gets out of the way. They both exchange rocks. Only one of them gets to live. Oh, okay. Still had.
You just got to imagine that's how like two Crags propose, right? Just an exchanging of rocks.
Oh, like they both get on one knee with like the rock up?
I don't know if they have knees, given the fact that they're beetles, but, you know, I mean, the thought's there.
I mean, the rock shine, right?
That's true.
He's definitely kneeling in that.
Yep. Speaking of rock shine.
Have ourselves, though, looking to be an incredibly close game to start out with. Parry for parry.
Right, yep, neutral just continuing here.
MSB not rushing forward with any punishes quite yet. Look, like one thing that I've noticed really good players in Rivals do is they scout out what opponents do out of N-lag, right? Out of whiff lag, and keep that in mind as well. Because a lot of times you might not be able to get there in time, but you can punish the option they go for right afterwards, right?
Is it the parry? Is it the jab? Is it the strong attack? In this case, is it just the rock pull? Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it a dash back, you know?
Getting a little bit of that rock shard.
Ooh, the air dodge down into the down tilt?
I haven't seen MSB do that since, like, Genesis 7? That was like a mix-up that he started developing in his game plan around that time. I mean, it's good.
Beautiful, beautiful counterplay up the tower there.
The crowd screaming, what?
And then MSB taking the time to look back and explain it to them as well. This is going to be a hell of a set. I'm very excited for this. Yeah. I just like, it's so fun just to watch, and I'm just like, ooh, here we go.
MSB just going right to it. Yeah.
F tilt.
Considering
forces Cheesy back there too. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, considering how much of a player, especially Cheesy has been in terms of extending her own life with platform rocks, especially having this long of a platform and these huge of side blast zones, I feel like is a way for her to try to leverage that.
Sure.
MSB's no stranger to surviving out there in the abyss, as we said before.
That was a choice. Was he going for down B? Gotta be, right?
Yeah, I feel like it. All right, opportunity now to return the favor. I wasn't sure if we were going to just get another down B attempt right there, to be honest. Ooh, gets the rebound.
So much damage down there.
Oh, this is so... Okay, gets the cancel into the jump off the pillar.
But the big thing there is we saw MSB take the time to go down there, and Cheesy was like, I'm sending something after you. You're going to take an extra 30% for making this decision. I'm not going to take a stock from this, but I'm going to put myself in a better position for stock 2.
I mean, you take whatever extra safe percent you can in this kind of slugfest. Catches the rock after parrying it, but Cheesy just powering her way through.
Interesting fair there. I would assume the up air, but there's the up air to finish it.
I mean, it is a bit of a 50-50, right?
Yeah. Good answer for Mizba.
Good answer for... Oh, I see.
Mizba. Yep.
Yeah. We have ourselves MSB.
Good old-fashioned tilt war.
I was going to say a stock behind at this point, but yes, also caught embroiled in the tilt war that seems to happen when they're both at like the low 50%.
Ooh, and there's what ended game 1 too. Using that platform positioning against Cheesy. So common to go down there and kind of set up for that up strong. Cheesy there with the up tilt now though.
Yeah, and like Cheesy managing to touch ground just to get that pillar back. Every time it gets me. Of the way for the landing aerial.
Nice parry on that situation to get back on the stage. Using up a lot of resources, and that's going to be it.
Taking an advantage of that pillar situation. You can't catch Cheesy off guard with something like that.
Elevator to the top. Thank you, Mr. Doorman.
She knows all these quirky little details about Crag, right?
Well, and that's what makes the Crag mirror so interesting, is when you have these top-level Crags, like the two of them, and of course ZB as well, is that they see through the other Crag's bullshit so easily, and I'm just like, yes, this is perfect, because do you have an answer for the nonsense, and what is your answer, and how do you do, like, because I mean this is the ZB stage, right? Air Armada for the Crag matchup.
Gonna go Air Armada.
Yeah.
1-1 apiece here. Once again, we have another one of those high pillars, and Cheesy just answers again. Here's an air. I know I'm plus right in this situation.
Oh, yeah, big extension there. Not quite enough off of it that you'd like, but continues positional advantage and also continues this damage string. However, MSB answers back, and now we're on the top of the stage, and things are scary.
Yeah, Cheesy, I believe, holding hard out during that down special to try to make that up strong hard to come together.
Ooh, nice rock throws. Oh, man. It's hard for me to think of a better rock assassin than Cheesy Potato.
Barely missing the anti-air, but still. What I'm curious to see is, like, if Cheesy is going to try to play this lead.
Ooh, double rock. Okay.
Break one rock, two more shall take its place.
Well, it's like the stick argument, right? How do you win a fight against a stick? You break it in half, now there's 2 sticks. You break the rock, there's just more rocks. Like, what do you do? And the answer is just up your opponent 5 times. And just continue to build this percent lead. MSB trying to kind of reset back down. Gets down there. A couple of tilt swings there was enough.
Yep. Cheesy not going to be harassed in the corner. Going to toss out that up strong to just demand a bit of space. Oh, I am amazed that Nair didn't end up connecting there. I mean, I'm sure MSB knew that was going to happen, but dang.
Great late DI out there from Cheesy to avoid that last hit of that down B.
And just like hanging just out of reach of the stage for so long. The rock actually pushing the pillar down because it's occupying it, but Cheesy was able to reset onto the stage.
The gunman duel there.
It took MSB that long to get rid of the rock, and then the shards just punched right back in his face for his treble. Oh, that's a little bit unnerving.
I don't think it's unnerving, buddy. I think that might be it. Cheesy going to try to extend this here. Yep, there's the up air.
Cheesy looking for the tech off the pillar.
But the big thing is that stock took so long that now MSB's in a pretty good spot to just finish this off.
Just needs to find that one last hit. Gets the roll, just a little bit too slow with the down strong, and Cheesy's going to turn that around. I love the spacing, expecting that tech.
Oh, but then Cheesy expecting the downward shards and techs back in, and finally the forward air at 219. MSB only 51 though, so this is pretty easily recoverable as far as his lead's concerned. A little bit of taste of his own medicine there.
Light taps, yep. MSB needs to just like, the first question is just sneaking back onto the stage, and Cheesy just kept that door shut.
The training weights are off.
Yep. MSB takes off the jacket. You know things are serious.
Rock Lee. That's going in the reel.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. I learned from the best.
So we got a kill using Ori's down special, which happened a bit ago. It's interesting that the Steam achievements only now notice it, but we also have the Olympia.
Yeah, that's correct. Now we have the processed rocks into the gemstones instead.
Refined, if you will.
Capitalist scum Olympia.
Whoa, okay, somebody didn't play Dungeons of Aether. That's all I'm saying.
Ooh, big forward strong there. It's on my list. It's on my list.
Okay. My first thought as like a reason I kind of like playing Olympia into this match is just because like her aerials are already such a core part of her neutral, and they get rid of the rocks so easily for you as well, right? Oh.
Oof. Rough DI angle. Still gonna make it back? Yep. Okay. Yep. And now we're just back in the circle. And that's kind of like that forest burn smoke you mentioned earlier, right? Where you have to commit a button to get rid of that crystal.
Yeah.
And you just have MSB lurking around going so quickly through that circle in the process. But my God.
Pele hitbox.
I was going to say the excavator there. Whew. Couldn't turn around fast enough. Going to get smacked with that forward strong. And 0-0, stock apiece.
I am finding I'm curious about the decisions for like MSB's crystal usage. I do think you're right that MSB is opting to use it more as like a movement tool.
It's a threat.
Than like option coverage at the ledge, right? But that kind of situation I think can be really annoying. But also I can see Crag being able to just like toss the rock up, right, and having a way to deal with it more non-committally than other characters.
Sure. And the big thing too is like, you know, Crag obviously can threaten Crag when Crag's down in that corner like that. Olympia does not have the same luxury, so now Cheesy gets a little bit of a better access to the stage too when coming back from a disadvantage.
I love Cheesy recognizing that side B being charged and just didn't move, right? Kept the rock on deck to be able to punish the end lag of it. Oh, punishes the focus attack.
But, I mean, Crag at a pretty high percent right now. I really do appreciate MSB's Olympia, though, because you really can appreciate the movement that he's capable of that you don't really see quite as much with the kind of more straightforward gameplay that Crag has.
I mean, you really put it together, right? Like, when you're playing a character that heavy for so long, it just makes you that much faster with everyone else.
Correct. But Cheesy, 92, 103 on the final stock here. MSB Tournament Life.
Backboard behind Cheesy as well. Cheesy setting up this edge guard.
And importantly, missed the ledge dash there too, and that's it. No more resources, just waits for MSB to come back into center stage. Cheesy marching on. Man, I'm excited to see MSB's Olympia develop, though. I really do appreciate watching him use the tools as much with Crystal, much like he uses with Rock, right?
Yeah,
Just kind of like this positioning here, but you see the hand raised in victory for Cheesy Potato. MSB out at 5th, I believe.
I believe so, yes.
So a great showing for him, of course, here at GOTE. Not quite, well, more importantly, not just 5th. Oh, no, the next player is going to be 4th because this is 4th kids.
Yes. Now, I feel like loser semis, we do need to...
That's the donation train, baby.
Yeah.
That's the donation train.
That's when we really
because
have to pick
someone is going to be the ultimate loser today because while they're not going to make top 3, they are going to make 4th. And this is for
the kids.
The kids. So donorbox.org/4. The kids... Great opportunity to help out, even if you're sitting at home, a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there. If you can do more, please. If you can't, do what you can. And if not, share the stream out. We are twitch.tv.com/GamersOnTheEdge. We're going to be running all day and all day tomorrow as well. Such a great showcase of games that you really don't see that often. We saw like the Puyo Magical drop this morning, whatever it's called, but it's a Puyo game. It looks fantastic to play. Shout out to my boy, Ryan Moralia, a really great friend of mine from Smash 4, but also a huge Puyo fan. Really love him to death. I wish I could see him more, but he's out in Chicago. He's got a kid. He's doing great.
Wow.
We're old. It's okay, but we're enjoying the fruits of the younger kids' labors who are able to actually have fast APMs and hands that function at a top level. So it's just fantastic to watch Rivals, man. I'm excited to be out here. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we've worked together, about a year now and some change. So it's nice to have these opportunities to celebrate the game, celebrate the reason we all come together, which is obviously for the big brothers and big sisters of Tampa Bay, and celebrate each other. It's really great to be back in these moments again and have these opportunities. And you never know when you're not going to have them anymore. So take advantage of them.
That is unfortunately true. Yeah. It's I've every single time I fly out to an event, right, I'd like fall in love with Rivals all over again in the community, right? Like I get to meet everybody again, catch up on how everybody's feeling, whether it's just purely in game terms or outside of the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, and like, you know, I personally have had a lot of stuff going on. I haven't set my computer back up since September when we moved into our house, and you know, I sit back down today and I go, right, this is why I made the trip. I played Rivals, and I was like, yes, okay, this is why. It makes sense.
But that being said, I do want to point out these two players we have in winners finals right now.
Correct.
Right?
Correct,
because
correct.
These two players have been hungry for that top spot, for especially in Soul Rifle's case recently, but Kusi putting in so much work over the years. Just being like, I think having the single largest amount of improvement in a single season of any player I'm aware of, right?
Absolutely.
Being able to see these two players go up against each other with their own squirrely fast guys, right? It's going to be probably just an absolute speed fest between both of them, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be the difference, right? In the last set, we saw two Krags, two heavyweight fighters going pound for pound. These are two featherweights, right? These are two characters. These are two players known for their speed and, more importantly, their efficiency. You know, in your heavyweight fights, it's about that big KO punch. In your lighter weight fights, in your bantamweight, your featherweights, it's about the technique. It's about the movement. It's about the positioning on both offense and defense. And this is what I'm really excited to see, because both of these characters is going to just absolutely harass the other when they get off stage. So we're really excited to see who's able to really maximize that advantage. In Kusi's sets we've seen, it really has been this kind of rinse, ross, repeat. In Soul Rifle's games, it's really been like, I'm going off stage. Here is my square of death. Don't enter here. This is where most people would normally want to recover, but I'm going to be able to challenge this like no other character can. I'm very interested to see how this Winter Finals goes.
Yeah, especially the thing that has me interested too is because Ori not only is a fast character, but especially because when Ori is like recovering, the deceleration, especially during that paraglider, is like actually super fast.
Yep.
So the ability to actually juke and weave might actually help give Kusi more space than other players would have against Soul Rifle, right?
Sure.
But we'll only find out once we actually get into it. Already just bashing the Lily the moment it appears. Wants to deny Soul Rifle the bit of stage control his character has. And already threatening the bash, too, on DIN, right?
Yep.
Hold in, and I will kill you, so start holding out. Which, I mean, as Maple, that starts to look a little bit scary, right? You tether to Ori, and he's ready for it. He can up strong. Right there, that team up forward strong takes that stock, and we have only 14% on Kusi. Right now, looking to just keep it going with just a flurry of jabs. Caught off stage once again. Chasing out the DI out, and we do have a Soul Rifle holding out still. Not wanting to be caught. The bash missing there.
So close. That looks so tasty. Yep, got to get back down faster. There's that, and especially the movement off of the paraglider we mentioned even before this game started.
Looking for up airs and to the stall for one last up air. That is just like a Kusi classic, right? Just double jumping off stage or just full jumping, getting there and just air stalling just a little bit longer with that air dodge.
Yep, whether someone's just coming down or someone air dodges down to avoid the pressure and just answering there.
Not great DI. It's a 50-50, right? And being able to survive that going straight to the corner.
Ooh, I thought that was a little bit of a slip up there. Great chance for the bash. Soul Rifle appropriately DIs out, gets the latch, gets the wrap, gets the first stock.
Still needs to find two more. Half a life gone, and the Lily wrap making it just such a hazard to have to deal with.
All right, Kusi here just continuing these up air threats. Nice, uses the wall jump back air, comes back, but I mean, just now we're on the same thing on the other side of the stage.
Constantly just checking to see whether or not Soul Rifle will give him something, right? Just putting himself in position. Yeah, the tether going to be caught with the up air. Kusi winning that with a solid two-stock.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very confident game one. But, I mean, we've seen the adaptation from both of these players so fast over some of these long-form sets. I mean, this is Soul Rifle's first time losing a game in this top 8. So we're really interested to see how quickly he responds, whether it's game 2, game 3. But I don't imagine him going quietly into the night in his Winners Finals. He did not get this far to not try to make it into Grands and have to have a 2-set advantage over the ever-lingering, ever-persisting cake assault.
Oh, absolutely, right. Like, especially just as a person, I can't imagine Soul Rifle not going down swinging ever, right? Like, he puts so much of himself in every single set. There's no way. There's no way he's going to let that happen again.
And even some of the sets last year where we saw him try different characters, it wasn't just for the sake of like, all right, I'm frustrated with this. I have to find something that beats this guy. I have to try different things. You're just going to die from that. Oh my goodness.
Is just staying one slight step ahead. It really feels like Kusi's able to put himself in a position to just be more reactive than Soul Rifle gets to be. And especially just the fact that Sign gets to be this persistent on-stage threat, whereas Lily can be dealt with from like a second of like inattention, right? There we have a bash to get rid of it, or a parry.
Oh, I thought that was going to be a bash right there too. Yeah, okay, Soul Rifle gets back to center. Like, and the big thing is too, this is one of the few players, and especially the few characters, that can match Soul Rifle in that APM. I mean, really, it's like 1 1/4 considering you have Sign there as far as your average APM, but it's what makes up the difference sometimes. You're able to control so much more because of it.
Catching once again.
And it's you see Soul Rifle with the resignation there in those, because we're looking at a hard DI out, ready to come back and come swinging into the next stock, as we see there. But down a full stock here, Kusi in a pretty good position to put himself in grands.
Yeah, I mean, the edge guarding especially just looking so brutal. This is, I mean, with the jabs already setting up a full lapping happening for Kusi, and otherwise not in a rush. I love that, though, from Soul Rifle. Now he's just kind of watching his Lily like a hawk and trying to use that as a way to punish Kusi's bashes.
Oh my goodness, that was so cool. Just the jab feint there, and then uses the reverse tilt into the pop, and then continues the edge guard.
We also see a parry coming out from Kusi to not Kusi, from Soul Rifle to disrupt this endless pressure, right? Force Kusi to leave gaps to avoid being parried. This could actually turn around for Soul Rifle. Oh, no, not anymore.
Yep, one mistake, a couple frames off, and I mean, we haven't seen a ton of parries outside of the Lily and then the one that led to that last stock there, but Kusi was just ready for that. Just said, all right, there's a break in the movement. You weren't fast enough. I recognize this. And yeah, no switch, no character decisions here. This is going to be just the same every time. And
especially when you think back, like, Kusi was only around like 30%, right? Like, the punish you eat at 30% for whiffing a parry isn't going to be the end of the world. And the reward for landing it is the game.
So force floor, kind of a wash for game 1. Game 2 here was actually a lot closer, so I completely understand Soul Rifle wanting to go back, kind of use this positioning to his advantage, and then uses that Lily switch there as well.
Ooh, okay. I think another big part of the pick here is, I know this is one of the stages that Kusi loves practicing Soul Rifle loves practicing movement on, just in general. So just like, as a player, he feels fundamentally comfortable at this location.
We see Kusi switch to parrying the Lily there instead this time, not accepting Soul Rifle's bait really out there as kind of an attempt to trick him into doing something and putting himself in disadvantage, because this is one of the rare times you see Ori have to kind of commit that extra button to clear, much like we talked about the smoke in the Force Princess.
I love trying to catch the bash there by Soul Rifle as well, right? Just a little bit shy, but the idea is absolutely in his head. The air dodge, the charge flame actually got in the way.
Sometimes it be your own people.
Wow, and look at this 3 stock to 1 Soul Rifle's favor. If there was a time to turn it up, it's here on game 3.
That and then some right now, my dear G-Pick. Okay, there's one of the answers at the very least, but now we see the reverse of game 2. Down a full stock, can Kusi answer?
Kusi just going right into it, though. Choosing to not give Soul Rifle a chance to breathe and, like, take advantage of this lead, right? It's like, normally you get to choose the tempo. I am not letting you do that. I am trying to outspeed you, the person who outspeeds Cake Assault.
Great rising backer there to answer out. You see Kusi sometimes taking a little bit too much of a charge on these forward strong situations there on the ledge. Maybe one of those rip instead to kind of mix that up a little bit.
Really buying a little bit of space. Oh, just barely drifting out of range of the bash. Big opportunity here.
Out of buttons.
Oh, gets the right direction, right behind the forward strong. Gets the solid uppercut and a huge coming out from Soul Rifle. Honestly, well earned at this point.
Absolutely. I mean, we see the Nash teleport, nothing personal, kid, getting behind Kusi there. And the pop-off as we answer the call, we answer the bell. We're not going down at the 8 count. Soul Rifle now back up for the all-important
Game 4, the kids.
Correct. We didn't miss it this time.
Now, here's the thing that I'm thinking about, though, is Soul Rifle now has to win on Kusi's counter pick twice in a row. And that's going to be a real test of whether or not the lessons from that previous game really do carry straightforwardly. But right now, Soul Rifle's at least keeping it pound for pound. Oh.
Ooh, okay, I'm surprised the parry missed there, but the quick answer just off of that one mistake from Kusi, and Soul Rifle was ready to take that all the way to the bank with a quick finish on the Shoryuken up at the top of the blast zone.
I think that was just an up air that happened there.
Oh, what? You're right. Sorry.
But we have a bash answering it right back. 2 stocks apiece.
And that's the big thing, right? Like, we saw that bash at 100%, but that bash is death at such a lower. Oh my goodness, are you coming back from this?
Yes. Oh, and Kusi just not quite fast enough to punish. Especially this is ethereal gates too. Is the thing to keep in mind. This stage is massive blast zone. Wow.
The big thing there is that could have been so much worse. They're going to see the bash finish, but there was a moment there that Kusi actually was behind Soul Rifle in the blast zone.
Now the question is really on Soul Rifle to have a huge turnaround stock. The pressure of that bash, just knowing that it can kill on this stage so consistently. All right. Soul Rifle starts getting to talk, gets to get control of the stage, but Kusi just uses the parry on the Lily, immediately getting rid of that platform control.
Importantly gets to the other side of that up air, though, so now he gets to respond in kind there. Oh, the benefits of this stage. VI'd all the way out.
Yeah. Honestly, that might be part of the idea here with the counter pick. And meanwhile, Kusi knowing that he gets the consistency of these bash kills, but being able to hold hard out, make it tough for Soul Rifle to get to stick the way that he likes to, because he can't really make it back to stage as fast as Kusi does.
Correct. And so now we hear, okay, here comes Soul Rifle. Already 52, has the mark on as well.
Bash one more time, and Kusi makes it to grand finals, beating Soul Rifle and Cake Assault.
Game 4, we see stock 1, bash, stock 2, bash, stock 3, bash, and just a fantastic finish. And the Cake Assault hug for Kusi there after the big win. Kusi waiting in grands now for whoever.
Yes.
We assume, we think it's going to be Cake, but I mean, this is such a big win for Kusi, and now, more importantly, having the set win earlier today on Cake, if Cake is the one to make it back, has the confidence knowing that you've already been able to answer the call there.
Yeah, and like we have the loser set and loser semis is going to be Cheesy versus Cake Assault?
Cheesy versus Cake, winner versus Soul, and then, of course,
winner into Kusi.
Winner into Kusi. Grand finals laid out. This is our top 4. We're just figuring out the placements at this point. So now we have Cake versus Cheesy, and this is a matchup we've seen a bunch in winner semis during the RCS online events. We've seen a bunch in the online side or the offline side of things afterwards as well. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this has been a winless salvo for Cheesy in this matchup.
I think you're right. I want to double check, but I know offline, Cake has won always when they run into each other.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, this is a big character that Cake can kind of bounce around a little bit. So we'll see if the game plan has changed a little bit, or maybe we saw the end of Game 5 of winter semis. Does Cake have a slip up that Cheesy's able to take advantage of?
What this is actually making me think of is I was talking to Cheesy just earlier today, right, about it's almost the curse of consistency, right, where she always does make it to her seed and then lose to Kusi and Cake Assault, right? Like, she's now at that level where she has her specific demons in top 8 that she has to overcome. And she runs into Cake Assault a lot. I believe it was 4 times in the last season she had to fight Cake Assault. It was one of her most faced opponents, and having to make do again.
The curse of consistency, right? Like, you get there, and you get to the top of the mountain time and time and time again. And we joked about Sisyphus earlier. Sisyphus, thank you. We talked about Sisyphus earlier, but it's true. You constantly are like, oh man, I'm at my peak of my powers. I'm a top 5 player in the world. Can I break into top 4? Can I break into top 3? And we talked about earlier about how the top 15 looks at the top 10, but now you have Cheesy looking, on the outside of the Mount Rushmore, the Mount Olympus of Rivals, trying to get in herself. And, you know, it starts with beating Cake. It's, I mean, we haven't seen it yet to our knowledge. We hope that, you know, we might see it today because everybody loves an underdog, and here we are, game one.
So to be clear, on the record, you're rooting for Cheesy over Cake Assault in the set, with what you're currently said. I mean, it's okay. We can clip that line.
Cake Assault is my son.
I think Crag Nation appreciates your solidarity.
Of course. All right, nice tilt battle here, starting things off. Cake Assault on the kind of the losing end of it so far, but positionally in a really good spot. I say that as the reversal happens.
It's always even with Cake Assault until somebody mentions it, right? And then suddenly just completely takes control.
Clone is going to be such a big part of this because we've seen how much Cheesy loves to be in that position down there below the stage, and Clone just kind of falls perfectly, floats down there. We're going to see the finish here. Rock doesn't come in the way, but almost does.
The Rock got hit by the cape and actually hit Cheesy further into everything. Otherwise, looking like a ton of neutral confidence from Cake Assault.
Highly aggressive approach back to the stage, but it's so important there because you were able to trick Cheesy out of using that rock.
All right.
Good weight, good weight, good weight.
Yeah, catching the end of the parry. And Cheesy sets up the rock, yet Cake remembers that it's there and breaks it. Just does not want any of that business.
But the big thing is it allowed Cheesy to put this position in place. I mean, we're looking at an even game now and taking the lead even.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes the rock on the platform is actually just bait.
Ooh,
catches it too.
Big fair, yeah. Lost resources there too.
All right, this means that Cheesy has the slimmest of leads. Gets barely out of the way of that up strong.
Off the backboard, though, and then insult to injury, destroys the tower just for fun. But it's Cheesy with invincibility.
And he used, at least trying to use the rock shard to build up that space, but Cake Assault is relentless, swinging back in.
That was such a great retreat to that top platform for Cake there for a second, but then Cheesy comes all the way back, and I think was trying to break the pillar to prevent Cake from wall teching off of it.
That would make sense, yeah.
109 to 18, great position, but here comes Cake. Doesn't get the back air, but does continue the string.
You know what's in my head? It just takes one parry, right?
For either of them, really.
I could maybe, it really depends positionally for Cake Assault, but I'm pretty sure Crag kills anywhere.
And just like that, the Nair setups, and that's a game on the board for Cheesy, where you gotta start wondering the marathon ability, the stamina of Cake Assault. This is two grueling top 8s back-to-back for him, finishing, of course, second in Melee, and now trying to make sure that a lesser finish doesn't happen in Rivals, but, you know, Cheesy only 2 games away.
Only 2 games against Cake Assault. Just, I think about, like, how hard it is to take a single one, right? But the fact that already starting ahead, which is the main point, right? Cheesy's already starting off on the right foot. We do have Frozen Fortress, which I tend to think of Cake counter picks in like 2 broad categories, right? There's the sudden death, like we're going to Treetop, we're going to Spirit Tree, and I'm staying on top of you and trying to snuff out your light. Or there's Frozen Fortress, where he wants to just slow down the tempo of the game.
Slowly squeeze out your game plan while also just suffocating and winning in these situations.
Looking to try to back off. Otherwise, a solid lead. No air dodge, though.
Comes around to the other side, though. Tough break there for Cheesy. Almost in position there, but just a couple frames away.
Good DI on the down strong, too.
Ends up aiding and abetting Cake Assault back to the stage.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I was going to say, now we have going to be a clone popping out, but you're never sure which one it is.
And then using the low lag of the up air there to put himself in position on the plat. Combust online. We are 1 or 2 tilts away from being a stock up here, but there's important with the rock. Prevents the combust there.
Yeah, and Cake Assault opts to destroy the rock in that situation, right? And drops the combo. But it's so important to be able to, because especially Cake knows to stay in the mid-range area where Cheesy can't safely pull out another rock, right? And that's going to help put him in a position to try to take her life. As soon as she gets that long distance, though, she sets it up, starts trying to set up these shotgun blasts.
The big thing there on the edge, though, is that because Cake had the Combust online, could not harass Cheesy with the clone that we normally would see and had to wait it out. Cheesy was able to get his stakes a little bit easier, but we are going to see the forward strong there at 209. Cake now with a 2-stock lead. Combust back online and wants to try to finish what he started. And I think he will. Okay. Well, here we go.
Oh, okay. We're getting into some scary territory here for Cheesy. We get on this platform, yeah, a reset on that platform can just be a combust, but the back air is already going to do so much damage.
You got to feel in those moments like Cake playing with this food a little bit, because like so many of those up airs or up tilts could have been that combust off the top. But now, I mean, is it too little too late for this game? 3-stock advantage at 150%. Now a really 2 stocks.
I mean, we're in that territory now where, like, if Cake gets the right parry or just the right moment, down strong, right?
Yep. All right, 1-1. You expect this answer from Cake, but how does Cheesy respond in Game 3? Are we able to continue to cook, or do we become mashed as a potato here? We will see how she's able to do in Game 3. Don't you look at me like that.
That's a little corny.
And don't you look at me like that. Wrong starch. Cake switching over some controls? Interesting. I'm not really sure what happened there.
Ooh. 100 Gek.
It's a band.
It's a what?
It's a band.
Oh, okay.
100. It's really 100 Geks.
Okay. Taunt is to left stick click. Okay.
L3, baby. L3.
Yeah. Oh, L3. Right. That's the proper word.
There were so many games where, like, I was a kid where, like, you on the PS2 where something would be on L3 or R3, and I'm just like, what? How do I do this?
I bound my Marvel assist to L3.
That's sick.
Yeah, because I played Zero, so I needed one of the triggers to be light attack, charge buster. Yeah, that button then got reloaded because, like, I can't move my finger up and call the assist there. Yeah. God, I love Marvel.
Wow, we're dating ourselves again.
And Marvel is timeless. Okay.
His tag is 0 Gex. All
yes,
right, that's pretty sick. It's rare to see Cake switch off of the OS too. So I mean, this is just kind of having a little bit of fun with this.
The OS is still there. It's just Gek is in the middle.
That's true. Which also, speaking of dating ourselves, a fantastic game series.
Is it?
You never played Gek?
No Gex?
Yeah.
Gecko?
Yeah, the game rules.
Okay. Some of us had questionable taste as a kid, including myself. It just hasn't aged well.
Okay.
Well, Cake is dead, and Cheesy Potato has a lead.
Okay. Game 3. The scream from Milo, I can only assume Soul Rifle from the crowd cheering on the up tilt. All right, down air going to be put him back on the other side of the stage, though, so not be able to continue quite as much pressure. Man, the movement of Cake's so good right now, but Cheesy calls out the little baby dashes.
I love that up tilt, right? Catching the movement in.
88% now, building this up.
Very helpful trade. Uh-oh. Good weight by Cake, right? Empty lands and punches the parry with a down strong. This is, I mean, it's still within reason. Gonna be able to catch inside that smoke, too, with that forward air.
Yeah, just able to pressure so well on the right-hand stage. The Cake now aggressively down airing and the double back air, but we are on a much bigger stage, and this is a lot simpler for her to be able to just DI out and continue on this second stock.
One of the perks of Blazing Hideout, yep.
Thank you. That was the name I was looking for.
I got you. Hey, this doesn't mean we might get to see the Blazing Hideout like special last stock.
It's a good chance. It's a hell of an eyesore, but we'll see it.
I love it. It's super intense, man. It's cinematic.
It's very bright. Oh, yep. There goes the pillar pop. Can't tech off that. It's only for me to play on.
Oh, no air dodge.
Yep, that might just be stock, yeah.
Yeah, Cheesy Potato gets a 2-stock. 1 game away. Cheesy is actually has the potential to take out Cake Assault.
On the precipice here, G-Pick. On the precipice. We are 3 stocks away. And here is the I'm going to 0 to death from Cake.
I mean, that being said, this is also a stage with large blast zones, right? Yep. So we do still have the ability to hold hard out in these situations. It's the question of, can you build up the space in order to deal with this relentless pressure? Because right now, Cake Assault is just dancing all around Cheesy Potato, getting a 0 to 115 swiftly.
See you later, 139.
Yeah. Oh, being able to still land on the pillar. clone being sent in the smoke and waiting out that air dodge. And despite it all, Cheesy's still alive, 168. Not going to give up on this stock to combust, though, answering with the down tilt with the DIN.
More importantly, though, I mean, and besides being able to survive that long, that was 170% in 30 seconds. Like, just one continued advantage state that just pushed into that percentage, and that's why this stage matters.
Double jump taken.
And we are on to game 5, folks.
Essentially, at this point, this is like just additional downloading of, like, what did Cake learn in that previous game, right? That's, I feel like, the main advantage in playing this out.
Right, exactly. You know, there's some mindset of like, all right, we're on to game 5, just shake it off. But, you know, just kind of continuing this here. Good air dodge. That might actually be a stock here.
Beautiful parry. Yep, going to pick up that kill. Still a heck of a climb, though, at 63.
Oh, just the tip of that down tilt. Great coverage.
Getting rid of the rot, too. The fact that, like, Cake remembers that that's there and works that into his juggling, right?
Right. Yep. Okay. Now we're just like, all right, game 5.
Properly game 5. It does get to be Cheesy's counterpick though, right?
Yeah. I mean, I assume Rock Wall is going to be gone. I assume Endless Abyss is going to be gone. There's Rock Wall.
Instantly gone. In terms of DSR, we'd have Blazing Hideout left. Oh, gonna get Fire Capital. Yep. This is another huge Blast Zone stage. Yep.
I was just sitting there thinking, I was like,
which real estate?
Yeah, I was like, which giant stage is going to be left? Because that's where we're going.
Especially just like the way MSB puts it, which I like, is like you pick a small stage against Crag and he just kills you sooner. You pick a big stage and he never dies.
Correct. But I mean, you saw the damage output from Cake on that last game, where we just saw how quickly he was able to rack up this percent. And we're not seeing quite the same kind of velocity here, but still a pretty strong advantage in the beginning of this.
Yeah.
And even playing off of the rock bounces that you expect from Cheesy too. Ooh, the dash back.
Ooh, that was slick. And also just keeping in mind at the same time, with all the space does come the threat of now smoke control.
Oh man, reads the dash attack with the down strong. Fantastic play there from Cake. And I mean, are we seeing Cheesy's just best chance in a long time slip away now?
I mean, she does have that potential to rob a stock, right? Which is the main reason I hold my breath. We would have to see how this starts playing out, but it's looking harsher by the moment. Cake not really in a rush, finds to just hang out in the smoke, and this time Cheesy just comes out and challenges it herself.
Ooh, and actually able to intercept the downer with that quick backer too. Great to be able to continue this pressure.
Again, just focusing on pressing this advantage, because the way that first stock went, right? Like, Cheesy was giving Cake so much space, and Cake is still under the assumption that that's still the rules of the game, right? And Cheesy is like, no, actually, I changed my mind. We're playing just right up close and personal. I'm not letting you run away with resources.
And then that first stock being claimed by the Slate Sniper, Cheesy Potato knocking out the smoke in the bottom left there. Cake is all kind of nodding and grinning, going, all right, you got me. Yep, there's the burst. Here comes the next one. Nope, just continually putting out F-tilt.
And also making sure to not step too close to the smoke herself, right? Getting that rock to lead the way. It's almost like a lantern. What? Oh, it was the down step.
Okay, all right.
All right, gets the triple.
Has the double jump.
We have ourselves an even game now, right? Like, the percent is more on Crag, but this is also Crag beating up Forrester.
Well, now the sides of the stage comes back to haunt, right? Because you're going to have to put Cake in the right spot on either the left or right-hand ledge to be able to close this out. Because 102%, you're not going to get the up strong right away, so you have to figure out something to push him off stage some more. And Cake's just answering the bell here, man. It's how we see it time and time again. We get to this last stock. We saw it in Winners Finals, and then we had the slip-up, but Cake not looking like he's going to give this a second chance. Movement.
Cake has actually adjusted his tempo again, though, right? Because that second stock, it was Cheesy closing that gap, and now we have these slight feints coming out from Cake over and over again and with punishing.
Exactly.
The onus is once again on Cheesy. Change the tempo once again. Change the song if you want to be able to claw your way into just winning this set. But at 164%, she has to find it fast.
No rock resource here.
Oh, that almost sniped!
Had to air dodge, though, so that's going to take up a lot of the time there for Cake recovering. 190.
Cheesy focusing on destroying the smoke that she can, and Cake, meanwhile, taking advantage of that. Gonna find the down tilt to combust, and Cake Assault wins 3-2.
And now his own marathon begins for sets. Because now we have losers finals. If we survive losers finals, we immediately go into grands, which is going to be 2 more sets.
Yep. It is a winner stays on rotation.
Yeah, you see him taking a second, collecting himself, taking a breather, bumping the torque.
I mean, I feel like that's like the greatest blessing.
Getting
a bump from the torque.
Of course, of course. It's a shame we don't have the camera crew out there to get a quick torque chug on stream here for GOTE for the kids. Gamers on the edge. Guys, we're going to be going into now top 3. Cheesy getting the illustrious for the kids' place. But you still have time all day today, all day tomorrow. DonorBox.org/for the kids. This is a donation drive, folks. We're doing everything we can to support, as you see in the top corner, Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Tampa Bay. I mean, just a fantastic organization, really putting a lot of onus into the communities and helping kids who really don't have that extra figure in their life. And it's an important thing, It's really nice to be able to reach out to the kids that need it. And Big Brothers Big Sisters has been around for longer than we have. We're old, but Big Brothers and Big Sisters has been around for a long time now, and they continue to do great work throughout multiple communities across the U.S. Of course, in the Tampa Clearwater area, so we're supporting of Tampa Bay. And if you have the opportunity to do so, great. If not, share the stream out to your friends, share the stream out to your family. Let them know that we're not just playing games, we're doing something good today. So we want to make sure we get the opportunity to put as many eyes and as many wallets behind this as possible, guys. I'm counting on you.
If I wasn't on commentary right now, I would totally just sit down and pay it. But
oh, would you?
Yeah.
Well, we have a break. You have time.
Yeah, but I'm on commentary.
Okay,
it's inappropriate to look at one's phone.
I was Googling the father of Icarus earlier.
That was not on camera.
That's true.
That's all I'm gonna say. But guys, come on. I know I'm going to go ahead and submit my donation as soon as we're done here.
Well, let's talk about.
Let's talk about interesting.
Let's talk. I'm a gambling man, of course. What's up?
You have a wager for how the rest of this tournament's going to play out, right?
Yeah, my son's going to win.
Because it's Cake versus Kusi,
right? W.
Okay.
Or no, Cake versus Soul Rifle first.
Cake versus Soul Rifle, right? And then Cake versus Kusi.
Dub.
No, actually, I feel like Kusi's going to win. But because Cake Assault has been historically #1 and makes all of these loser sets, I'm going to recognize the strength of your position.
Okay.
I'm going to demand odds.
See, that's the smart move. You're the one that suggested it, so I'm going to tell you no. Put your money where your mouth is and bet on Kusi. Don't be a coward.
I am betting on him. I just recognize the statistical reality of the situation.
You say that my money is on the line if I am in an advantageous state. Not for the kids, GPIC, for the statistics. That is not how charity works, my friend. And speaking of charity, let's see if Alexis Bennett, Cake Assault, has any in his heart and can give a set away.
I can't believe you. I can't believe
it. Wasn't my smoothest and nicest transition, but listen.
That was extremely rude.
the record is the record.
Okay, but man,
he's twice his size, but my son bullies him. But if there's ever a tournament to do it, it's for the kids.
I mean, yes, it would be incredible especially because this is where Cake started this winning streak. Like, it actually fully solidified.
Correct.
Because Cake answered back at Genesis, but here he won 2 sets against. Was it 2 sets or 1 set?
No, it was 2 sets. It was 2 sets. It was pretty brutal.
Yeah. So
it was a not a long set.
But yeah, being able to answer it back a full year later would be fantastic for Soul Rifle, and I just wouldn't want to ever imply that it wasn't fully earned by his own ability.
That's nice.
Yeah. Anyway,
game 1.
The game. Merchant Port.
Yeah.
We have ourselves losers. Final winner of this goes up against Kusi in Grands. Both of them wanting their own run back.
Both of them swinging at Ghosts at the moment. Ooh, good patient wait there from Soul Rifle. I like the triangle dash to kind of put himself in a better position. Take the elevator back on up. Going to continue the combo. Yep.
Oh, yep. Just harassing in the smoke, especially when it's clear that's where Cake went. Catching both and catching the upward escape with an uppercut. Only 15% on Soul Rifle.
Oh, here I have the answer, though. Oh, able to get down. I saw the air dodge up and got a little nervous. Nice dash attack there, right underneath that play from Cake Assault.
Cake just sneaking back to center stage, trying to turn the momentum around, but Soul Rifle's not having it.
Quick little hurt box shift, too, with that move as well. Be able to get out of that down air pressure.
Oh, this is looking harder and harder by the moment. Soul Rifle stalking the smoke off stage, not quite sliding into that up strong.
Big back air, not able to cover too much. Sees the tether, yep.
Oh, out of range. Okay, this is going to be an opportunity. Yeah, the back air's not going to do it. Great DI from Soul Rifle.
Yep. Continues his first stock here. Oh, but the diving back air from Cake Assault. I mean, I didn't even have a chance to see it coming.
Soul Rifle gets in a stronger and stronger position as this goes on. The question kind of becomes, like, I know Cake has like a temperament that he has to adjust to just for Soul Rifle, right? And the question is, like, can he get to that headspace properly? Because right now, Soul Rifle is showing a lot of respect, too, in these situations, looking for the whiff punishes, not recklessly forcing anything.
But the problem is with the weight and the air speed of Maple, I mean, Cake can just close out these stocks so quickly if given the opportunity. So even though
he might not get it. 110 sent off stage once again.
Gets out of the way before the stage dive there from Soul Rifle. Gonna harass, gonna tether. Oh, good down tilt though.
Yeah, he doesn't quite get the down air Cake Assault is looking for, and we're gonna have a tether to the top of the screen. Nair is gonna do it. Soul Rifle up a game.
So I want to see the adjustments in the next couple games because we're a couple frames off here and a couple frames off there with some of these down airs in the corner, and that's where Cake really, really, really puts himself in prime position for these early stocks, is getting those set up. So we've seen Soul Rifle with a little bit of hurt box shifting. We've seen Soul Rifle with a little bit of positioning shifting. Will Cake have the quick answer for that? Because, you mentioned it, right? Cake has to adjust his tempo for Soul Rifle. He's the one player that really can kind of dictate the pace better than Cake can, but we'll see. Frozen Fortress, Cake favorite here for game 2.
Right. I mean, this is a stage really to get in that headspace too, especially, right?
Oh yeah, slow things down.
And right now, Cake's getting these first hits, a solid 70%. Gets rid of Lily.
Okay, there's some of that positioning in the corner. Crosses up the mark there. Still nothing. The big thing about that mark, too, is it keeps a lot of that horizontal smoke out of play. Really easy for him to do that non-committally.
Upstrong's going to close that out. Cake looking so much more comfortable in this game, too.
Ooh, answers immediately. What is this Clonus? It's not. Both players whiffing right around each other, though.
Soul Rifle this time, the one backing off, taking advantage of this stage length.
I like that too, because Cake was kind of feeling things out there with that jab one into that platform land above, and Soul Rifle's just like, no, I'm not going to give this to you. Ooh, tough trade on the Nair there, but doesn't get too much damage off of it. As I say that, though, my goodness.
Cake, yeah, looking to work on this second stock and get it into the books before his first one leaves the stage.
And you saw that quick adjustment in the DI there from Soul Rifle, because his first couple ones I was like, uh-oh, those are back airs. And then Soul Rifle goes, wait, I have to get a pull off a little bit here and more here. I have the room to space this out if I need to, and then closes out the first game here.
First stock, but yes.
Excuse me, first stock, correct. And quite a bit of a start here on his own.
I like that little Lily ping pong. That was worked in.
Would have been so important there to be able to bring Cake back onto that left side top platform. Not able to do it, but gets the grab here.
Gonna get the up strong. Yep, that's gonna reach. This is looking pretty okay for Soul Rifle. It's a tenuous lead, but he finds himself another opening.
From tenuous to tenable very quickly. There's a miss in the corner.
The triangle jump, like you talked about, right? Just waiting out that parry. And here we have that offstage harassment, right? Just getting in the way of the smoke and then having Lily there to catch and teleport straight up. Getting the parry, and the down strong's going to do it. Soul Rifle up 2-0 against Cake Assault.
Oh, man, he's digging deep here, trying to figure this out, but you're right, no charity needed. Soul Rifle about to firmly grasp this 3-0, one game away here.
I mean, the thing, what I come back to, though, is that this is like their set at Genesis, where Soul Rifle was up 2-0.
Oh, yeah.
And it got turned around.
Listen, I wasn't going to mention it. You brought it up.
I mean, we have to talk about it, right? This is our immediate precedent. Like, yeah. I know Soul Rifle knows it, too. Like, the way that he closed his eyes between games, right? It's just like, I don't want that to happen again. I don't want this game to slip away from my grasp.
Great DI out there. Clone Pop going to cover it, though.
We have a start. But Soul Rifle refuses to let it get quite out of control yet. Takes his time, just waits at the ledge, and finds his moment the moment he sees a whiff down tilt. Whew, I was scared.
Good enough DI, but the clone finish there, surprising on the mistech.
It was a spike on the wall cling, right? Oh. So you'd have to call out the moment the clone explodes.
That peace and comfort of that side of the stage are being taken away. Oh, but gets on the other side, but no punish. Gets the invincibility, though, and now comes below Soul Rifle. Big position advantage for Cake right now. Big trade advantage, too, there.
So far, Soul Rifle, like, he's looking so close to just taking the stock and only having 50%, but every time that Cake of Soul slips away from a combo coming together, it just feels further and further away, just so slowly.
I like that, too. Doesn't push the initiative in the corner there. Instead, opts to wait for Soul Rifle to make a mistake.
Spacing around that dash attack.
And the devs slipping through there a little bit. Soul Rifle able to get away from that DI on the first part of Upstrong there.
Soul Rifle holding back, hanging on these platforms.
But look, we're seeing the same thing from game 2. Slowly creeping back in this stock advantage. Takes so quick with that movement, though.
I love that Soul Rifle waiting and this time bringing out the down air, right? Because before then he was actually like diving in with Nair.
Yeah, of course.
Mixing in how he's choosing to poke at Cake Assault in those moments.
And now huge positional advantage.
And it's so important that he is poking, right? You leave Cake to his own devices for too long, that's how he really builds up smoke, covering the stage or getting himself combust.
Or just dives in and down strongs.
Yeah, Cake with a tiny lead, and we have to point out, Soul Rifle is up 2-0, right? Like, this is still so close for Cake just to stay alive.
Right. And now last stock, 0-0.
Potentially the end of his run at third place.
Okay, gets the mark. That's important there. Wait, no. Yes, okay. I was like, it looked like he hit the side B. But
Soul playing so careful and just hanging back just a little bit by an inch.
Oh, man.
Not running.
Those quick little dash attacks, so important for Soul Rifle to get this positional advantage. But now, Cake's right on top of him.
Misses the waveland. Now, Cake having a lot of respect and the potential follow-up in that position.
Yep, big parry punish.
This could be really big. Armstrong's going to do it, and Soul Rifle beats Cake Assault, getting a huge victory after 9 consecutive losses, closing it out.
And you hear him
at the top of his lungs.
I did it. I was so worried about the game 3 loss. What happens at that point if Cake wins game 3?
Yeah.
What does that do for Soul Rifle mentally? And it doesn't freaking matter, G-Pick.
3-0.
30 and a handshake. And you see the emotions coming in, but you have to center yourself, young man. You have 2 more sets to go potentially here.
Yes, indeed. Especially the energy expended in a huge pop-off like this.
Look at the betrayal from Torque, though. Fist-bumping Cake Assault originally, now hugging Soul Rifle. That was not a positivity bump. He was absorbing some of Cake's soul right
Oh, my God. I will not have this Torque conspiracy theory on the air, all right? But I can't remember ever... Okay,
the elimination is the big thing, right?
Because Cake at third.
We saw Genesis Soul Rifle push Cake down into losers, and we saw the similar pop-off, right?
Yeah.
And that solidified Cake. That galvanized him into this monster run that we saw on that Sunday. And we hear the lore and the mythos of Losers Run Cake, and for good freaking reason. I mean, this man has been a monster and a menace for years, but now you have to sit here and actually think, when was the last time we saw Cake get third?
Like, the lowest placing I can think off the top of my head at an offline event, right, is Genesis 6 when Full Stream beat Cake Assault at, like, losers quarters.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, the last one we were at was just Genesis 9, right?
Yeah.
And there was a hiatus, so we're talking years in the past. Years in the past for Cake Assault to lose like this at a LAN event. So, man, you know, you can't call the changing of the guard just yet, because we might see Cake just come back and absolutely brutalize somebody at the next event. But we need to be able to celebrate the moment, because this is two young players in Rivals. Someone's going to get an event win. Someone's going to join Durai for winning an event this season. Of course, Durai on the RCS side, this on the grassroots side. But more importantly, I mean, we talk about how like the grassroots ends at Genesis and brings players out like that. This is an important spot for these players. This is not cheap what we do traveling like this. So, you know, credit to both Kusi for, of course, pushing Cake down into the lower bracket initially, and then, of course, Soul Rifle finishing the job, more importantly. So now we have kind of an unprecedented position. This is Kusi versus Soul Rifle, grand finals of Gamers on the Edge 8.
I'm just remembering how Genesis 9 ended, right? Where like we had Cake for the first time being in winner's side of top 6, right? Like looking invincible to everyone that wasn't Sego, right? And then Sego retires from Rivals of Aether, and we're like, that's the only guy who was like really making Cake bleed. Like, what are we gonna do? Two separate players take sets off of him. Cake finishes 3rd to start off this season, basically. That's completely insane to me. I'm just, I'm shocked. I'm shocked, right? Like, this is the guy that was beating a lot of people with flashbangs going off.
Buddy, like he was increasing the heat in Hades.
Yeah.
He was increasing the difficulty on himself. He just said, all right, this isn't challenging anymore. I need my chat to be able to decide when I can see the screen.
Which is hilarious, by the way. Fantastic. Great content, Brain.
Fantastic content. Now it's a little bit less content, a little bit more game focused, and look at this cinematic shot here. Shippy sending out the tweet. You know he's so excited about this. And like I said, two very good friends, two very young Rivals of Aether's players, two savants.
This is it.
This is
actually it. We're getting a new champion at like an offline major event, right? I believe this definitely qualifies as an offline major. If it does, well, the talent pool I feel like should put it in that category. I'm always a little bit sketchy at exactly what point it moves over from like regional to like major. But I feel like because we have so much of the top 50 here, especially of the top 10, like being able to win against this ridiculous field would be a huge achievement for like either of these players, right? The fact that they both got a win on Cake today.
Yep.
From here on out, like it is now the quest for first place. It's so interesting that I bet for like everybody when they think about the odds of beating Cake, right? It's like the sort of thing that you picture, and then I win the tournament immediately because obviously that's grand.
It was in grand.
Yeah.
Oh, and we mentioned it after losers finals. The emotion from Shippy in that moment, realizing I did it.
Yes,
I've bested this demon. What do you mean I have to play another set?
I have to play the guy who beat me.
Right.
Twice. But I mean, if there's anything to get your like motivation back, like get your mojo back in full swing, it's like I beat my demon today, nothing stops me.
I am untouchable.
Yeah.
We'll see, because the winner semis was not a close set between these two players. So does Soul Rifle carry over that manic energy that he plays with so consistently into this grand finals? Do we see a potential reset, or do we see Kusi claim this #1 spot here at GOTE?
Yeah, this is grand finals again. Kusi from the winner's side. We need 2 wins from Soul Rifle, and if we remember the way like the previous set went, like what sticks to my mind is just Kusi felt like he had the luxury of deciding a moment later than Soul Rifle did, right? When it came to so many decision points, and especially because he could deny Lily, right? He has multiple avenues of counterplay there, whereas Sign looks to be much harder for Soul Rifle to find a consistent answer of his own.
Well, and the big thing for me is by the time we got to Game 4, Kusi had such a good understanding of what Soul Rifle was looking for that we saw bash, bash, bash. Those were the 3 stocks in winners finals to finish everything out.
Yes.
Now he has potentially 2 sets to understand how I'm going to counteract the recovery, the DI, the positioning. And I just think that's going to be such a strong advantage for Kusi.
Yeah. I mean, we are seeing shades of that same edgeguard struggle, right? Like Kusi there, not Kusi, Soul Rifle managing to hold on resources to recover high, but if Soul Rifle is deprived and forced in purely horizontal, it's going to be that team-up forward smash every time.
See the neutral here. Both players trying to find things out. GOTE extending things a little bit, but does miss the wave land there.
Doesn't seem to be too much of a bother using the sign explosion to be able to catch multiple directions at once.
Ooh.
Gonna get the tether into the dunk. Soul Rifle getting the first stock, but needing a lot more momentum.
Second stock.
Second stock. Oh my gosh, I missed that.
We're almost at the end of here. Oh, but the call out.
Good evasion from GOTE, not really suffering for the invincibility. Waiting for a whiff and then getting back on stage.
This is the jab there and just gets out of there.
Good whiff punish again. Just like the fact that Soul Rifle threw out an aerial to clash out the light sphere, but the up strong is going to do it. Soul Rifle winning the first game.
That's right. That's right. Great start here for Soul Rifle. And we did not see that in the winner semi set. There was a very confident game 1 from GOTE, and we had to see Soul Rifle drag back game 3 to finally put a point on the board. Now starting out with the quick answer.
Yeah, a big part of that I feel like has to come from that momentum from that previous set. That it tends to be an advantage for the loser side of grand finals.
Sure.
It sounds weird until you're in that position of waiting in winners grands and you're like, what the heck is this first set? This doesn't feel right.
Nope.
I'm not playing like myself.
You're really getting iced by the bracket. You have to watch loser semis, you have to watch losers finals, and now potentially the person has won 2 sets in a row.
That edge cancel was so sick. Go on.
Big start here from GOTE again, or excuse me, from Soul Rifle again. But this is the huge stage. This is where we saw the 3 bashes in game 4 of winner semis.
Getting rid of Lily, but the thing is, the catch with like tossing Lily at Maple is you're giving up stage when you do it, right? And that is also the moment that Soul Rifle chose to get over the ledge, is when he saw that bash
out, but then Soul Rifle answers it so quickly with another fair.
We still have an air dodge. There's GOTE's air dodge. Gonna try to take his time. I love that adjustment from Soul Rifle, right? Because earlier, GOTE just kept drifting forward and backward and waiting for Soul Rifle to miss. This time, Soul Rifle jumped up and met him, kept the edge guard going, and finds the stock afterwards.
All right, big first stock here, but I mean, we've seen how quickly GOTE's answered these. Good DI out on the back air, using the space to your advantage. Both of these characters have so much leeway with their recovery.
Just fighting just to get on those pixels of the ledge, right? One tiny little step at a time.
Ooh. No mark there, so not able to follow up too much, but still a big lead and now in stock 2.
Ooh!
It's out, yep. Quick air dodge up, SDI up. And now 2 stocks. 2 stocks for Soul Rifle right now.
Soul Rifle really looking reborn in this loser set. We have that air dodge stall in order to last a little bit longer. Yep, and that's kind of the catch. Is it looked like Soul Rifle had to use so many resources to avoid being caught by GOTE staying out there, that then GOTE knew that none of those resources could come into play when going over the ledge.
Yep, it was just the one last side B left, so you just take a step back, swing for the fences.
All right, we have the first fair. This is looking like GOTE's going to be up 2-0 at this, right? Like this.
Soul Rifle.
Soul Rifle, I'm so sorry. Yeah, Soul Rifle.
Yeah, this is just a dominant performance. And back air?
Already, I mean, that was definitely DI out, expecting something else, but the dunk is going to go ahead and close that off.
And more importantly here, no pop-off this time. We saw a minor pop-off in game 1. We saw the huge pop-off after losers finals. This is a Soul Rifle that is focused. This is a Soul Rifle that's ready to take set 1 and potentially take this entire tournament too.
The way this is looking in those first 2 games, I can absolutely believe it. Nevermore's Soul Rifle looking to get himself that first place trophy he's wanted for so long.
Well, and look at the posture difference between the 2 players as well. Soul Rifle lean back, confident, relaxed, full gamer lean here from GOTE right now, and that could just be their preferred positions, but the body language right now shows the difference in the tempos and shows the difference in this kind of ideals of where we are between these 2 players right now.
answering back with a forward tilt before the sign explosion can even go off.
Great air dodge around that nair.
You see hanging out on the platforms. This gives Soul Rifle time to set up an inconvenient Lily.
Oh, the mash out on the jab between the two players there. Who's going to get it first?
Oh, that jab's to interrupt. Not going to let Soul Rifle get pressure for free.
There's one.
Good interception.
2 more stocks. This is a full reset here for Soul Rifle.
This is a lead by a hair.
Hey, you're not wrong. But we've seen how quickly Soul Rifle's been able to take advantage of these minor leads, too. 1 dash attack, 1 down tilt. It's just something to make things start off here. And now going to be able to get the punish here? No, not much.
Soul Rifle more than content to just give Kusi his space.
That was a damned if you do, damned if you don't moment there for Kusi, because we saw Lily get set up on that center flat, him land on top of it, and has to choose between bashing, rolling, or pecking. And Soul Rifle lurking right underneath her, just waiting for whatever the answer is.
It reminds me of watching Marth in Melee, right? Just like, okay, you're on the platform, like, I get a hit, no matter what you do.
Sneaks past the F-Strong there. I wonder if the vacuum hit, if we had the strong hit, would have been enough to do it.
That sign positioning, that slightest feint to put the explosion just within Soul Rifle's reach. And Soul Rifle is Maple at 230%.
That's where I was headed next, man. I mean, you see Crag, you see Edalus. You don't see Maple at this percent.
Oh, and that's going to be the next stock. Oh, my goodness.
242, 249 finally seals the deal. But this just feels like Soul Rifle's set. I don't know if it feels like Soul Rifle's tournament yet, but it feels like Soul Rifle's set.
I'm really trying to keep an eye out in terms of especially Soul Rifle's recoveries. The fact that he's been able to make it to stage so much more consistently than it looked like he was able to previously.
Well, and that was such an aggressive parry there on the last sequence as well, where you do the wall jump up, and that's it.
Yeah,
look. He wound up, decided against it. He's got one more set before the pop-off really happens.
That is so incredible. Like the fact that he's finally in this position and his eyes never leave from the prize, right?
Nope. He had the opportunity. I mean, he's got the obviously the support and the friends in the crowd to go jump to, and says, 3 more games, 3 more games, and then I will have my moment.
Kusi takes the break that you're allowed to between grand final sets.
This is going to be our last, or probably our second to last chance to talk about it, guys. But you know, this is here because of the people behind GOTE, and you have people like Angel, you have people like Jimmy Caldero making sure this event goes on without a hitch. We have the Duo Studios team who are putting on this stream, have been working since the morning into the night, and will be doing the exact same thing tomorrow. Guys, if you have the chance, if you have the ability, it's donorbox.com.org/4 the kids. This is Grands. This is set 2. If there was ever a moment to put in some last-minute love from the Rivals community, it is now. It is time. Please help support the kids. Please help support Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Tampa Bay. And of course, as you see, all of these great people who made this event come together, from our hosts here at the Holiday Inn who have been hosting Gamers on the Edge for years now. Tampa Bay, MOR.TV, that's one of the local channels around here. Guitar Exchange, Duo Studios, you see Reset.gg, who put together all these setups for us today. TNS. Shout out to Tong. I was going to talk about this later, but I'm really, I'm here in the Tampa area. I wish Tong could be here with us, so I really just want to say I'm thinking about you, buddy. I love you, and I hope that, we'll see each other at CEO, and, we're in the best headspace we can be. I hope, everything this weekend is everything you want it to be. I love you.
Yeah.
But we have a set left here, and we have Kusi sitting down, ready for it now. And now the two of them playing around, it looks a little bit here, a little bit of gamesmanship before we start this final moment. And we see the quick RPS win from Kusi. First strike here. We'll see how much of advantage this provides. Tower of Heaven off the board.
I believe that was game 1 last set with Tower of Heaven. We have ourselves going to not Endless Abyss. This
Ethereal
is
Gates.
Ethereal Gates, thank you. Or Tortial Gates.
Tortial Gates, right. This was Kusi's exclamation point in Winners Semis. This was Soul Rifle's Game 2 huge win in Grand Finals. Who is going to be able to use this to their advantage?
one more set away for both of these players, right? Especially with how hard Soul Rifle was traveling last season, right?
Yeah.
This is completely crazy to see him this close, especially with the way that previous set went.
But also, I mean, all the credit in the world where it's due. Kusi was that guy during the offline series who just absolutely pushed himself beyond.
Yes.
You know, we saw him advance so quickly up our own personal player tier lists. Soul Rifle gets stock 1, but this is not over by any stretch of the imagination. Quickly navigates this offstage pressure, though.
Yep, Soul Rifle just sneaks back in, finds another dunk, and that's 2 stocks gone in 1 minute.
That's right, as the 60 seconds fall off the clock here, and only 88% double snowman here.
Soul Rifle just 3-0'd Cake Assault and then 3-0'd Kusi in the next set.
And looks pretty good about maybe getting that same result here. The quickest 90 you've ever seen.
Have ourselves the start of a 3rd stock now.
Nick, I want to point out to you, man.
Yeah.
Every set that Soul Rifle has won today has been a 3-0. I mean, this is somebody who's, when he's rolling, is unfreaking stoppable. And speaking of 3-0s, that was 3 stocks to 0. You see the composition on this young man's face. He realizes how close he is to that doorstep, to that next moment for him.
2 games. Just 2 more games. And, like, meanwhile, that clock is ticking for Kusi, right?
You have to answer at some point. You know, you have the ref standing over you. 4, 5, 6. Is this gonna be the answer? Is Treetop gonna be the response he needs?
We're seeing much more reliance on movement and sign charge, right? Like just using that as his one safest button,
But
right?
here comes the combos.
Yep.
Good air dodge up. Starts his own. Oh, but turns around and still able to continue.
Nice whiff punish. We have the starts of an edge guard, but that platform there helps mix up Soul Rifle's recovery a bit. We have the tether, we have the nair, and gets the mix up.
And honestly, I think that would have been fine either way. With the nair, with the up air, I think that's a stock regardless there. Just with the weight of Ori. Here we go. Begs for the defensive move there. Doesn't quite get it, and Kusi finally. We have not seen that sort of edge guard since the very beginning of Grand Finals and throughout Winter Semi, so it's important that Kusi is able to find that positioning again.
Yeah. I mean, to Soul Rifle's credit, right? Like, he's just been avoiding that situation so consistently.
Hasn't been there.
Yeah.
That was 45 degrees. Goodness. I don't need Pythagorean theorem to find that one. We're just out there. Big nair here. Continues the pressure. Has to go high.
Oh, just a moment too late to catch that landing.
Ooh, buddy.
All right, this is big opportunity for Soul Rifle to reclaim the momentum, keep this game at least dead even.
There's that bash. And here is a huge percentage jump from Kusi.
And with as big as these blast zones are, we have the bash as an option to kill anywhere.
You hear the crowd pop off for it, too. They want to see this go the distance. But, man, Dragon Punch, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to get that Shoryu real quick.
It's properly invincible that time.
Okay, good punish there. Or good parry there, excuse me.
Sailing over Kusi's attempt, Soul Rifle's attempt to control space, and now Kusi's turned it up considering where he started at the beginning of this game, right? Fade back, sign explosion, fade back, sign explosion. Now he's really mixing up those 2 tempos. It's helping him out a lot.
Forces the parry whiff on some of those sign stuff too. You hear the crowd with a primary, the preemptive pop off for Kusi there.
We're hearing pop-offs for Canada, too. I believe that's Bagel.
It's got to be.
The weight, the stare down. They both want to win so much.
Ooh, nice positioning here. Going to have to use a lot of resources to come back. Because the answer again, no mark this time. You're it. That's it. You're gone. And you see the sigh of relief.
The fist pump, right? I've got it again. I remember.
This is our last one, guys. This is game for the kids of Grand Finals of Rivals of 8 there.
This is not game 3?
No, this is game 4. He was up 2-0, wasn't he?
I thought it was only up 1 game.
We will find out soon.
Okay, yeah. It's game 3. Okay.
Okay, well, soon it will be game 4 for the kids.
Yes, that is unavoidable. That is now a trajectory that we are assured. So we have ourselves no Treetop, no Jules Vale. wonder what Kusi's last ban is going to... Alright, so... It's interesting because 2 stages are DSR. Oh.
Right, here we go. Battlefield, baby. Love to see it. Neutral.
It does make sense, yeah. This is, again, a stage that Soul Rifle feels so comfortable moving around and just existing in.
Big start. Big start.
Oh, yeah, solid 69%.
Absolutely fantastic way to start this game 3 here. This is it. We're in a best 3 now. I mean, we are down to the wire.
When you pointed it out, like, that's when the margins really clicked in for me. Team up strong. The fact that I was like, oh, it's just not enough. It's like, that's at 60%. Like,
oh, I was fully expecting that to kill. Like, I was just like, yeah, he's dead.
Getting us.
Gonna come high here. Doesn't quite get to that middle platform, but I guess that was kind of the mix-up there and the intention. Huge dash stack out of the corner, though.
Yeah, Soul Rifle willing to dive in that time, really commit. That is kind of the way that you respond to somebody trying to play reactively, right? Is you just push forward in a riskier move, right? You overextend a bit and catch them on the step back.
Exactly. It's like you're countering that dash dance. That will definitely be enough, though.
Okay. Just the ring gets tighter and tighter between these two, right? Like,
ooh, huge mark there. Going up.
Oh, yep.
Falls out.
Gets the SDI up.
Yes. But quick parry, that'll be enough. All right. Soul Rifle looking good. Full stock lead here. And now going to put extra damage to widen this gap further.
Whew. Solid 66. This is Kusi's last thought. And it's just like remembering that this is a best of 3, how little room for error that there is left for him. Like, you don't want to see Soul Rifle with the momentum of only one more game, but that's where he is now.
I was just about to say we are 1 wrap away from this being 1 game away from being a wrap on the tournament. Soul Rifle now
on the verge.
3 stocks. 3 stocks separate him right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if we are coded for the pop-off that is going to occur if this happens. I'm worried for the infrastructure of this building. Holiday Inn has been a great host to us.
Is there earthquake insurance here in Florida? Is that like a regular thing?
We don't really need it, really.
Because in California, that's a thing. I'm just saying.
We have hurricanes.
But here we go. Air Armada as the place where Kusi is willing to put essentially his tournament life on the line.
Yeah, his last stand.
Yeah.
Talk to me, GP. Why is this the stage here?
I am thinking in terms of essentially escorting to the corner, right? We've seen those stalls by Kusi with those air dodges, right? Sure. In the middle of those carries. Here, he's basically stalling at the blast zone. And I think that's going to make it a little bit harder for Kusi to recover. Oh, yeah, Soul Rifle.
You saw he missed the ledge dash, ended up down a wall cling instead and put himself in a bad situation. Soul Rifle recognized it immediately, and now the stocks are down to 2. Can Kusi answer back? Can Kusi force this to game 5? We shall see.
I mean, we have right now 88%, and this is a smaller blast zone stage. This is absolutely within the realm of reason for Kusi to be able to take this next stock. But Soul Rifle's been so slippery, just finding those right moments to poke back and get himself some control.
He's too low. He's too low.
The stage coming to bite Kusi right here. Kusi on his final stock. Soul Rifle just needs to push a little bit further, just a couple more steps to get this stone on top of the mountain.
Listen, we're seeing it right now. We are at the mountaintop, and that's it! And that's it! Soul Rifle ascends to the top! You see the huge pop-off. You see MSB die in the background because of it. What a fantastic finish from Soul Rifle, and all of the emotion on this young man's face pouring out into the crowd, sharing this moment with him. Congratulations, Nevermore Soul Rifle 2-1-1. Your Gamers on the Edge 8 champion.
Came so close so many previous tournaments, right? That's the bottle of feeling, especially from Genesis 8, right? Coming so close and being struck down right at the end of Winners Finals.
Tears. This is what matters to him.
Yeah.
This is his moment.
A year of effort, a year of constant effort over and over again, being stopped right at the very peak, making it here finally. Soul Rifle joins a small club of players to win a major event.
This is impressive stuff for the young man. You love to see this, the champion's journey come to an end like this, and the moment's hitting him. You see him in the crowd realizing, I did it. Yeah. I made it. Andrew Shippey, young man, pat yourself on the back. You've done it. Like you said, you've joined that elite group of people, and this beautiful cinematic shot here from GOTE Studios just cementing this for him. This is something he's going to watch back a lot at GPIC. This is something he's going to have as a moment for himself and for his friends and family, too.
Taking a tournament over Cake Assault. Like, that can't be said. Like, it's not just beating Cake, but then closing out the rest of the bracket, too, right? Getting both ends of that. That is so exceptionally rare.
And you see his fellow compatriots along the way of the journey. They're coming up in their own individual moments to congratulate him, and this is why we play the game. This is for moments like this, and what a better way to happen here in Tampa, in Clearwater. And I mean, congratulations, young man, you did it. You made it to the top of the mountain here, and now you just have to make sure you stay on top. You have to you got the boulder up there, buddy.
Yeah.
Now you just got to make sure it doesn't slip. And with play like that, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Congratulations once again to Soul Rifle. GPIC, let's talk about it one more time, buddy.
Yep, one last time, fellas. This event exists for the kids, and I know we are all just completely gobsmacked at the moment of history that we just got to witness here at GOTE, especially with how our last season ended.
Yep.
Having it start out this way, nobody called this. Absolutely nobody. I don't believe you. You know what? If you did, or, if you're just feeling generous for the kids,
sure,
you can go ahead and toss a few coins over to donatebox.org.
Donorbox.org /for the kids. Listen, Soul Rifle's tag us, Soul Rifle 211. Let's get some 211s in there, $2.11. If you've got $211, throw it in there, big baller. Let's see it.
Or $21.10. We can be flexible. We can work with this decimal point.
Okay. We're moving stuff around here a little bit. We're making things work for us. But more importantly, if you have the ability, please help out with this event. I mean, I've said it once, I've said it again, Angel is an important part of the Tampa community. Gamers on the Edge is an important part of Florida Smash history, and now Rivals of Aether for the last few years as well. There's a reason why we see such elite level talent descend upon such a small little community like this in Clearwater. We saw players from Canada, we saw players from Georgia, we saw players from Pennsylvania, we saw
players from Northern California. Yeah,
exactly. Commentators from Northern California.
Yeah.
Making the trip out here and supporting such a fantastic event. We've talked about it a million times. I'm going to see if I can get it right in the first time. We're that way. Big brothers, big sisters of Tampa. If you can, support it. If not, share it out. There's a lot more great content to come this weekend. We're going to come to a close here. Buddy, I wouldn't want to spend it anywhere else. Hell yeah. We just got an update from Domo running the show over here. Angel and a representative from Big Brothers Big Sisters will be joining you next, replacing our beautiful faces with two more beautiful faces to tell you about what we're doing here this weekend and what kind of goals we're trying to achieve. So please stay tuned. The man with the plan who put this show together is coming up next. Make sure you keep an eye out for him. Angels, can't thank you enough for having us out here, buddy. Love to help you support the event. We'll see you next year. I'm so fucking good at this. God damn. Yes, you are. Oh, man.
I needed a booster seat because I'm feeling kind of short right here. This is Angel, a.k.a. Profile Loco, right here with Gamers on the Edge. And I am sitting next to Soul Rifle, who, I mean, to say that you popped off is a little bit of a understatement. But let's talk about this real quick because this has been, what, 3 years in the making? This has been like...
I started playing the game in December of 2017 or 2018, I believe. So it was like 5-6 years in the making.
Oh.
So it's a long time coming. And they were like, so like for the first like year and a half, like I really didn't know what I was wanted with the game. But then I think through the sheer amount of online brackets I entered, I was dedicated to like one offline major, especially when I went to DreamHack Atlanta in 2019. That was like, I want this so bad. And so from that point on, I kind of like dedicated so much time and effort to winning a major or being number one. And it has not been easy, for sure. Last season, I didn't take a single set off cake, which I think was one of the most, I was devastated. I'm gonna be real. Not being able to like touch him early. Genesis 9, I was able to get into game 5, but he reverse 3-0'd me, and it was a sweep. But
so let me touch on that real quick because I don't want people to misunderstand this either. Because again, you know, hanging with you a couple times, you know, you were here before, you're here back again. You're definitely popping off. You're having a good time. You are the cocky kid.
I am the cocky kid.
in the scene. However, you have respect also for these players.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, the win wouldn't mean what it means to you if it wasn't because you respect Cake.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that.
So, obviously, I first met Cake at DreamHack, 2019, and he, at the time, he seemed like this like thing I would never be able to overcome. And again, with all these other players like Penguin, Guard, Backpack, I saw all of these top players, and I was like, I'm nowhere near this level of them. So obviously, I have immense respect for every single.
Let me hold on, because I gotta stop this because I just got the flashback. I actually remember exactly what you're talking about because you were the dark horse that nobody knew anything about.
Yeah,
we were in Atlanta because I was actually running that bracket, and we didn't know what to do with you because we're like, well, this kid's got some wins, but they're all online. He doesn't have any like offline wins, but we think he's good, but we're not sure. I actually, now that you mentioned, I remember that.
I was the kid in the red jacket who was talking so much crap. I was like, yeah, dude, I actually been studying versus Cake, been studying versus Penguin, so I think I have a pretty good chance of beating them. And I'm like, no. that was not the reality. It wouldn't be till like three more years I beat Penguin offline for the first time. It wouldn't be another year and a half before I beat Penguin online for the first time. So but.
So it's been a road. It's been
one heck of a trip.
I tell you what. Well, congratulations, and hopefully we'll see more of you. And good luck with this year. So you got a lot ahead of you. Obviously, this is a good win, but this is not what you want. You want more than this.
Yes, I can't express how much that Cake win means for me. But now I gotta keep beating Cake. I gotta keep beating QC. I gotta keep beating all these really good players. And obviously, I know I can do it, but I gotta keep practicing. I can't. Because something that happened when I got third at Genesis 8, I a part of me was content, and it took me like a whole year to get rid of that contentment and then say I want to win again. And I think that's not to John. That's why I lost. I didn't take a set off Cake in season 7, I think.
Right.
But that was that's the mental shift I needed. And then now I think I'm in the golden state and.
You're getting there. Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that.
I'm almost there, yeah.
Yeah. Well, good luck, guys. We're going to bring in Josh from Big Brothers Big Sisters, and we're going to talk a little bit to him about what they're doing in the community. So, again, brother, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, really
absolutely.
Really appreciate everything.
Don't go away. We're literally just going to go dark for 30 seconds while we switch people here, all right? Thank you, guys. We'll see you in 30 seconds here.